Yes, people, good morning, good afternoon, and a good evening. But more importantly, blue morning to you because in fact it is the blue morning show. As you can see, I'm actually not well collected right now because a lot of stuff was going on behind the scene as I tried to fix the technical issue that I was facing, but I'm able to sort it out. The lesson is to have an extra mic available in case something like that happens next time. But more importantly, we're able to get on with the show. Please do let me know if you can hear me. Today we'll talk about the Ronaldo story again. It hasn't gone away. Kimpembe, we'll talk about Skriniar, we'll talk about, panic buy. I have a reason why I want us to talk about panic buy, and probably we should start by talking about panic buy. But more importantly, I hope you're all doing it well. Sit back, relax, and let's get into the show. Yes, people, welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. Once more, maybe a little more coffee will help me, be as collected as I should be. But that's by the way. Thank you again for joining the show. If you haven't, please take a second to like the video. We already have 19 likes, and that is a good sign. Let's shoot for 300 likes by the end of the show. But more importantly, I want to say good morning to you all. And it's always nice to have you guys. Again, Phantom was the first to like the stream. Today's Arsenal season or an amazing prime starts. Says again, Arsenal season on Amazon Prime starts August 1st. Sounds delicious. Yeah, I want to watch them. I want to see how well they do. And like I've said, they only play that well whenever they see Chelsea Football Club. And that's, by the way, again, I hope you're doing well, Phantom. I hope you've recovered from the dreaded C word. I hope so. Again, MKZ Star says, no Kunde, no Kimpembe, no Fofana. Go all out for Vardiol or Skriniar. I don't see offer 50 million plus Werner for Vardiol if you need to. Again, we'll see what happens. Blue morning, Kachila again, panel and chat. Blue morning to you too. I hope you're doing well. And KZ, I hope you're doing well. Again, I was the fourth. Yep, you made it to the Champions League. That's going to be Arsenal finish. So long as we are above them, Phantom, that's the main thing. I hope we'll finish above them. I still think they will struggle. Like I've sensed it. I've followed them long enough, but they have good enough players to even win this season. Maybe not enough experience, but we'll see what happens. They have good enough players to do well, get into the top four. But I'm sensing tactically, I think Arteta still it just seems to me as if he's still missing something. What that is, I don't know, but we'll find out. Let's see where they finish this coming season. Here, blue morning to blue blood, which is Tobago. I know, correct me if I'm wrong. I hope you're doing well, brother. Nice to see you here. Again, it's just exchanging greetings. And Chelsea definitely finished above Arsenal, as was the third to hit the like button. Yep, I like that joke there. That's the job. Again, says, so is anyone, has anyone mentioned a K-word apart from Kimpembe? Do they get blocked? Yeah, I think we should start doing that. we're moving on. We're moving on for Koundé, except if something happens that makes it absolutely necessary for us, to talk about him. But again, he remains the elephant in the room for a while. And if you go to Twitter, you see a lot of Chelsea content creators trying to deflect, saying, trying to explain why we missed out on the player. Some of them were quick to say the deal is done, it's practically finished, praising Todd, Boehly and Igali and all that. But that's, by the way, I really do not want to get into that. Again, says any update on De Jong? None yet, except that he's willing to join us, but I don't believe all those things until I see it happen. The keyword is going to be created this season. Only it's Koulibaly. I think that is officially that's officially the first delicious comment of the day, and it's coming from Liam Lane, my friend and brother, and the captain of Chelsea Perspective. Nice to see you, Liam Lane. I hope you're doing well. Again, it says this pattern of not going above 60 million clearly isn't working. Overpay or fall behind at this point. Again, I cannot blame Tuchel if he gets fed up. Again, it's not about going above beyond the 60 million. There is something going on that we don't know. Again, I'm still going to say this. I'm still not panicking. The truth is, by the time the transfer window shuts, we're still getting some good players. But we'll talk about that. My only concern is that most of the players we end up signing will not start the season with us. That is just all that. Again, there is already quite a lot of comments. I'm going to skip them all and get to the very bottom of the chat window. Apologies if I miss your comment. I will try, to read just subsequent contributions in the chat because we started very late due to the technical issues I told you we had. Again, please forgive me. It says Chelsea youth looks mental in the summer, while maybe they're planning for the future, or maybe because signing youth players are easier. It's easier to facilitate than getting senior players. Maybe that may well be the case, because some players actually leave their youth team to come to Chelsea, which you could argue it's because the Chelsea academy is more like the best school in town. Every good student wants to come there because of what the education they will get from the school. But that's, by the way, I'm still hopeful we'll do well. Again, I'm going to scroll to the very bottom. Thank you so much. Abhis now, I hope you're doing well. PJ Artist, I hope you're doing well. Again, Liam Lane, I've said hello to you, I believe so. So I'm going to scroll to the very bottom. Apologies if I missed your comment. Again, I can't get to every comment at this point because I missed quite a few. Forget Pavard. He's not up to Chelsea standard. Get Wesley Fofana. He's bound to have a high price because he has 5 years left on his contract, but he's a pure mustard, and the time to do this is now. Again, you could argue that we'll see what the club wants to do. How that, the link to Fofana, just picked up pace after we missed out. It was clear. It became clear that we were going to miss out on Mr. Koundé. I don't know if there's any truth to that Fofana story, but we'll see. Again, I'm going to scroll to the very bottom. Like I said, apologies if I skipped your comments. It's just me, it's too many to read right now. Coachella, did you see the info I gave you last night on the Brazilian player you were on about? Yeah, I read it. So I haven't read it. Maybe I missed the info you gave me. Where did you send it to? Liam Lane, I'm not seeing any message from you. Maybe you have to resend it, or maybe if you sent it in the chat, I missed it. So I'm going to bring in those that are with me already on the panel. I want to say thank you to Ty for finding time to join me. It's not easy. I appreciate you always finding time to support and help here, because you have your own channel, but you've shown how much you love the channel, and then you've become a brother. I appreciate that. Thank you to Tobago also, who has his own channel, but always find time to join here to support. Tobago, I want to come to you and ask you, again, I'll start by asking you how you feeling about the transfer window, so far. Are you still confident, or have you hopped on the panic bus?
First of all, big up, guys, and
to you too, brother.
Yes, and to be honest, I'm not in a panic mode yet. I'm still confident because, like, eventually, our board members or Todd Boehly and Thomas Tuchel will be under pressure to send players because, like, we need players to come in. And then, for example, now I think the most important part at least get one center back before start of the season. But again, maybe it's not easy due to what happened to likes of Chuskunde and the other targets. But I hope this was a learning curve from Todd Boehly and everyone that if you want a player, you should seal it now. Make it fast and quick so that other teams won't come in your room and taste your own food.
Look, let me use this analogy. If you cannot fly a plane, you can't hop on the, or you can't, sit on the, sit on the pilot's seat and say land on the fly, or maybe land as you fly with 200 passengers plus on, let's say, on a Boeing 767. You can't do that. You will waste people's lives. It just doesn't make sense. This is not something you learn on the go from. No, if you want to learn, get somebody to train you, and not now. This is, you have to start. You have to start very well, or you take the club back. Yes, but I don't believe that's the case yet. But I'm just referring to the statement you said, like, did you say? I don't know if you used the term a learning curve. It shouldn't be like that. This is a club. This is a business. If in fact he's serious as a businessman, he shouldn't have taken that risk. Like, I'm going to repeat myself, no matter how badly he believed the people that were there, no matter, because I'm sure the people that have left the club isn't just Marina, isn't just Peter Cech, didn't just end with Peter Cech and Marina. There are other people also that must have left. He should have been patient and approached it like he wanted to give them time, until the transfer window closes. Then you can start making changes. Why the season, after the season starts, we've been delayed by the restrictions that were in place already. Why add salt to injury, by letting go the people that could have been of great help to you, that would have been of great help to you, even if you don't like them. It happens in real life. It happens in workplaces. There are some people you understand their value. You don't just fire them. You let them know you're going at this stage, but you're going to stay. Let's see what you have. You educate us on things you have going on, so we don't falter. It can be. It can be mutual, and I believe it would have been mutual if he allowed it to be. But that's, by the way. Now there are other ways to do it. Like I've said this a million times again. He can hire DOFs on an expatriate level. Come help us get through this season. And if after that, if we like the job you do, we'll keep you. And now we get the DOF to do even an excellent job, because again, it's an opportunity for them to become permanent DOF for Chelsea Football Club. Or you pay them as a freelancer and get the job done for you. There are certainly that is a measure of risks you don't take. When you're talking about a big entity like Chelsea Football Club or a big club like Chelsea Football Club, you don't take those risks. But I don't see it that way. I still believe we're doing quite a lot behind the scenes. But the only problem I have is that there's a chance with that, again, we're going to start the season with, you could say, with just the two players who had already signed. We'll start seeing more signings coming in as the season progresses. But we're not going to be able to I don't think we'll get one more signing in before the season starts. But that's, by the way, Ty, I want to get your thoughts quickly on where we're at with the in this transfer window. And if you're confident if you already, I don't know if I'm correct. You sounded like if you're at the doorstep of the panic bus. Rodrigo was already saying, welcome to the panic bus. Have you hopped in, or are you still hopeful?
You know what? I'm going to do what I did yesterday. I am concerned, but at the same time, I'm not on the panic bus. Because, you see, I am concerned in terms of what you just said. We're not going to get another signing in before the season starts. That is realistic. It's
virtually impossible. It has to be magic. Yeah. Even if you get somebody in,
They
They're not going to
you
start.
can't just play them immediately. We're not going. We can't do what Lampard did with Havertz, where you just signed him and then he played against Brighton. The thing is, for me, I'm not really confident about the attack. The attack is what I'm not confident about. The defense, more or less, I think the defense is fine for now. Until maybe we can get another signing.
Manageable, maybe.
Yeah, it's manageable for now. We do have good players still there. I mean, Koulibaly will be able to start because he would have more time with the team to develop, some level of chemistry. Not entire chemistry, but he'll have some level of understanding with his teammates. And plus, there's a game. I think it's tomorrow, so that will give him more time to prepare for the start of the season. What I'm concerned about, like I said, is the attack, because I mean we have players who want to leave, and those players, they don't look as if they're up for it, and they don't look interested. They look disinterested. They look as if they're just there for the sake of being there. And I mean, we cannot. It's possible to sell players then, but we need to get replacements in first before we do that. So therefore, that means we're going to have these players until maybe after the Everton game, where they may leave. So I think maybe in that sense, I am concerned, because although Everton haven't really done the greatest of business, and although they haven't been doing good in the preseason, Lampard knows Chelsea. He knows some of the players. He was working with some of the players, and I mean, by assumption, he's going to be seeing all of the players that came in under him, and players that he had inherited as well. So I believe that, for that first game of the season, I'm concerned because I don't think the attack really changes. Maybe Broja stays and maybe he starts. I'm not sure, because he's coming back from that little injury that he had. So I think there's a concern there for me. But at the same time, I'm not on the panic bus that we're not going to get other signings in. I think we will get signings in. It's just about, will those signings be quality? Will those signings be good enough? Will those signings make a difference? And will those signings be competitive and be competition for the players that we already have? For example, players that we have as wingbacks or fullbacks. Will they be competition for players that we do have in the attack that can do something underneath? I think that is my only concerns. I'm not on a panic bus yet, but I do have some level of concern that, will we get a good performance against the team that we'll be playing against at the start of the season? Because, like I said, Lampard knows the team, and he can get goals, because we've seen that he's gotten coaches that can actually help the team, in the early. And although they lost Richarlison, who was key to them defeating us 1-0, they do have other players. Calvert-Lewin is still there, and they've signed a winger on loan. So I think they'll have players that, if they're utilized properly, and we know that Lampard is good at making a team that can attack well. Maybe it won't be as easy to win. I think we may draw the game if we don't, probably have so much stress. But right now, we don't have players who are willing to play for the club willingly. Some of them look like they're just at the club just for the sake of being there. So that is my concern, and I'm just concerned about the first game of the season. Now, I'm not on the panic bus, because I think we'll make signings, but not before the first game of the season. And I don't think we'd rush players back to the team.
Here's the thing, Ty. I'm going to let you know this. I think you probably was sleepwalking when you walked into the panic bus, because you're already there. Everything you're saying just says you're on the panic bus. So you were sleepwalking and you walked into the panic bus even without knowing it. But I get your argument. I think it's like when you say you're happy and at the same time you're unhappy. And Tobago is cracking me up in the private chat. I'll help you see it, Ty. But that's, by the way, again, I'm here now, brother. I haven't asked you how you're doing. I hope you're doing well. He said, had we signed his user along with Sterling, we would not be stressing too much over attack. Here's the thing, I think.
Where would he have played? That's the question. Where would Jesus have played? Because he's not a central forward.
Yeah, that's the thing. And here's what I want to say about that. We are contradicting our demands for the club to keep Amanda Broja. Chances are, had we signed Gabriel Jesus, the club would by now let Broja go. It's as simple as that, because you don't count him as a winger. He's a striker. He's not really a striker. Let me just say a forward. And he fits, it's perfect Thomas Tuchel's attacking number 9. He'd love to play him as a number 9. And if he had him, there's no chance also we won't keep an Armando Broja. And Armando Broja will push, he will even put in a transfer request to leave, because he'd see that the manager has a perfect, that is a striker that fits the way he likes to play. So again, sometimes we just call on sign this player, and at the same time we're saying keep this academy player, keep the other academy player, without knowing that we're contradicting our request for the club to keep a certain player from the academy. So signing Gabriel Jesus would have definitely meant, we're not going to keep Armando Broja. So I'm happy with keeping him.
That would have been foolish, in my opinion.
Yeah, it would have been foolish, yeah.
We have done the same thing that we did last year. We sold Giroud and Tammy Abraham, and then replaced them with one player. That's foolish, and we suffered significantly after doing that. So I think the only way, the manager, based on indications, says that he doesn't want to sell him, because I don't really think we're going to get a striker. We may get like an attacker who can probably play as a wide forward or as an inside forward, but I don't really think that we'd have signed a striker, because Tuchel is saying that he's aware of the interest, he's aware of the offers that have been made, but he doesn't think he'll leave. So that in itself,
he really wants to keep him.
He wants to keep him, but I think maybe, although I don't really agree with the fact that Broja wanted to leave in that sense, because of
we don't know
stepping stones. He had good personal terms with West Ham. That in itself proves that you're okay with leaving. So you don't accept personal terms with a club if you're not willing to leave.
Hesitant, Ty. I think he was probably spreading his wings wide. If we were Broja, there's nothing wrong in him accepting personal terms with West Ham. He probably told them, go ahead, try. If they want to sell me, I'll join you. So let's agree. It's simple. I don't see nothing wrong in that. He probably didn't know that the club would want to keep him as much as they want to keep him. As he probably didn't know that Thomas Tuchel will even come out openly and say he stays, because that's how Thomas Tuchel said it. He really want to keep him. So again, it wouldn't make sense for him to rebuff West Ham and then end up hearing from Thomas Tuchel that you go and find a club. And then probably by then West Ham must have signed a Skamaka, and no other club will be, West Ham is one of the biggest clubs out of those clubs who are probably seeking to sign him. I don't know if you get my point, Ty. It only makes sense that he agreed terms with them. Yeah, if he was serious to leave, he'd put in a transfer request. He wasn't pushing to leave.
I didn't say that. I'm saying that he's open.
No, I'm not saying you said that. Ty. I'm just saying, given what was out there, people, the rumors are that he was pushing to leave. That's not the case. If he was serious about leaving, with here by now, that he did put in a transfer request. But that's, by the way, I'm going to try and catch up on the chat. And again, it's just brilliant. I'm moved by the fact we have 40 likes already. That shows, again, the community is growing. The Chelsea Perspective community is growing. And I'm proud to let you know that in 2 weeks, or a little less, we'll be launching the sister channel, which will be covering global football and every other, football club. There are countries and everything. So I appreciate the love. Thank you. Thank you so much for the love. I can't thank you enough. I think, again, we're aiming to reach 300 likes, and I believe we can get there. So Gabriel Oba says, Blue Morning, or smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you very much. It makes me happy when I see the mod are saying these things. You should keep saying it. Keep saying it, people. Keep saying it. And again, Peter, I'm going to say something in the private chat. I am glad we got a 26 numbers. The 26 number, we gave 26 number to Kalidou Koulibaly. Will probably do justice to that. I think he will. He's confident. He's smart, an intelligent player. And I don't want to start comparing them, because I've come up with things I think he can do better. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to.
You cause a big debate.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to get there. But actually, it's unnecessary to even try doing that. Prince Morehouse, I hope you're doing well. Get Skriniar and Ronaldo up front, then, Savic as a DM. Let's see what the manager wants to do. Going on holiday 10 days before the season starts, I am not saying he shouldn't have one, but that's a really bad timing. How do we know that he's really going on holiday? It's just in the media.
Because
Again,
the media
they saw the guy on the plane with his girlfriend, and boom, it is breaking news. Give him a break.
And plus,
Give
the guy
him a
has been
break.
working most of the summer as well. So I mean,
Yes, and he's been busy most of the summer. And this is the same guy. When we had a serious issue, when we all were fearing that the club was going to go down, this is the same guy. He become the club's mouthpiece. Peter Cech wasn't talking that much. Marina Granovskaya wasn't talking that much. Bruce Buck wasn't talking that much. It was always Thomas Tuchel taking questions from the media, and he handled it so well. I was so proud of him. I was praying and saying, oh God, let's keep this man forever. Because look how he reacted when he wasn't happy at PSG. Look how he reacted when he wasn't happy at Dortmund. At that point, he wasn't happy. He even came out and said, even if something like or something similar to, if we had to take a bus, we'll take a bus, but we must play. That's the man we're talking about. He needs a break. Because they saw him taking a break, it became something huge. They've done the work in preseason, and for Christ's sake, he has assistants who will be taking care of things for him to just take 2-3 days break, and he needs it. He's a human being. He gets tired mentally. Yes, he doesn't run, with the players for 90 minutes, but he uses his brain. Probably doesn't sleep on occasions to understand how the best tactical approach to implement during the game to win a match. So he gets tired mentally. Without the rest, he'd underperform too. He needs a break. So give me a break too. Give the guy a break. Go ahead, Ty.
Plus, I think the other thing why the media is going crazy is because of the comments that he made about he cannot say that we'll be ready in 2 weeks. So they'll use that to say that, oh, how can he say that they're not going to be ready in 2 weeks and he's on holiday? They're going to use that. They're going to use that and say that you're supposed to be at the training field drilling these players into the ground. Look at what Spurs are doing. People are going to use all things to say that he's just making excuses. He's doing this. He's doing that. They're going to use that opportunity as a way to scapegoat him to say that while you're complaining that your team is not prepared, that they don't look serious. You have the same players. You're not doing anything to ensure that they're ready. So I think in that sense, they'll look at that and say, and that's what the media does. We all know that the media hates us. So they're gonna find every small thing, every small thing to bring Tuchel down to say that, oh, Tuchel is doing this, Tuchel is doing that. So I mean, in that sense, I mean, the guy has been working for most of the summer. Yes, he had a couple of time away with his daughters and in Italy, and he was in Italy and he went places and things like that. But he has to be the manager, the transfer strategist. He's had to be a scout, and he's had to be a person that has to like you said, he has to be answering the media when they were asking him not only questions but foolish questions like that. Asking him what about war and things like that. You don't ask somebody like that. What is he supposed to do? And that's why I was happy that he responded the way he did. That listen, how is this related to football? I'm lucky to not have experienced war. Because I mean, I always complain. Why do journalists do this? Why do you ask questions that are pathetic? Would you expect the manager to say that? Oh, Roman Abramovich is doing this, and he's not going to do that. I just don't get it. So when you say that the way that he had to go through all those pathetic questions and he had to answer maturely, because when you could see that he was frustrated, but he smiled. So I think in that sense, people need to understand that the guy needs time away. He's a human being as well. The players got holidays. He was still working. He was still at Cobham with the players that didn't go on holiday, players who did not go on international duty. So people need to understand that the guy needs a break as well. And it's 1 day. It's literally 1 day, and that picture could have been from months ago, weeks ago, and things like that. But because of the one picture with his supposed girlfriend, people are going mad. Like what he did is wrong. Like he shouldn't have a breather.
Yeah, give the guy a break. Go ahead, Tobago.
I agree with Ty. Thomas Tuchel is a human being. He needs a rest because, like Esther has mentioned, is a coach, a scout, negotiating deals and stuff. Like, it's not easy for the guy. It's for the first time.
He's actually at the point of this break is very important.
It's very important just to give a day off, just focus on yourself and other things. Forget about football for 1 day or 2 days. It helps sometimes, and then you're getting refreshment. Maybe when he comes back, he's going to have fresh ideas, and then it's going to be wide, doing maybe things frequently, maybe faster now. So I think Chelsea fans should just relax. The guy needed a break, and he said it after the last game. He said he won't rest until he's getting his targets. And you are seeing that it's not easy for him.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy. Thank you for that. I love that.
I need to come for Thiago. Because
but he made a very good point. And again, thank you very much, guys. We have 125 people watching, and already we're just 33 minutes into the show, and we have 52 likes. We can do better than that. Keep liking the video. Keep liking the video, people. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Again, I cannot thank you guys enough. Let's shoot for 300 likes by the end of the show. 53 likes at this point. I think that's not easy. That's quick. Keep liking the video, people. Thank you. And I'm going to say this again. I say it every day. You don't have to donate your hard-earned cash to the channel. All I ask of you is just like the video. You watching the video and you commenting in the chat. Even when you're not commenting, all those things do go a long way. There are other ways the channel can make money. Keep liking the video, guys. Thank you. And thank you so much. Again, my brother here, Tobacco, just said, Tuchel is a human being. He needs that break. And if you remember, when Pep Guardiola left Barcelona, he took almost, I think, a year off. And he made it clear he needs to recharge. Sometimes even I am learning to have, even because I wake up every day 2:30 a.m. to start preparing. At one point, if I'm talking to you, I would look, that is doing something I see. I've been making a lot of mistakes, a lot of misspellings. It's because the brain is getting tired. It's a mental thing. Even though it's not, I don't run, I don't do any heavy lifting, but because I use my brain, do research, put things together, do all of the stuff, so I get tired mentally. Sometimes I need sleep, proper sleep the whole day to recharge. The man needs to recharge. And you see him, he was at the point of snapping after we lost against Arsenal. So he needs this break. Give the man a break. I'm going to move on from that. And I'll read a few comments and I'll scroll to the very bottom so that we'll go straight into the topic we have to talk about today. Because if I keep reading, the chat is already on fire. If I keep reading everything I see there, we will not get away from reading what's in the chat, and we will end the show even without getting anywhere. And out of respect, we've promised we're not going to talk about Jules Koundé, but out of respect, I'm going to, again, is it Juice or Juice or Use? I don't know. But let me just call him.
Call him Julian.
So Julian Koundé, again, so probably Jules walk, but it sounds like people are calling him Juice. But that's, by the way, Jules Koundé. Out of respect, I'm going to read Bobby's comment regarding the guy. Like we knew before time that, again, he's like the elephant in the room, and it would take a while to push him out. Barca are wide boys. The whole Koundé deal stinks, and Chelsea FC should have walked away early as on Monday. Again, I have an argument for that, and I'm not going to go into it, but I'll wait until if we don't get the young, then I'd say let's go to Stamford Bridge whenever Todd Boehly is there and ask him, what the heck did you travel to Spain for, and what did you discuss at the table? Yeah. So now, AK Rasta says give Ronaldo 2 years and the young 5 years contract and look for one defender. Okay, that's a good opinion there. A good shout. Kachi, yes, I've seen it, brother. Thank you, and I've thanked you also. We'll talk about it in a bit. Thank you very much for that. Nikola Milankovic. Is that Milankovic? Is it Nikola Milankovic? Is that his first name? I'm not sure. Abdul Diallo, Kalulu, Skriniar, again, Badiashile, Torres, Vadio, Ndika, just to name a few. What's really happening with transfers, I don't know. And like I've said before, it just seems as if partly the frustration of Chelsea fans is that we don't know everybody that the club are talking to. Believe me, it'll be stupid for them not to be walking behind the scenes. There are a few leaks here and there. That's why we're able to tell another club that they're talking, those at the helm of things are talking to player A, B, C, and D and all that. But that's, by the way, again, I'm going to scroll to the very bottom so that we can start, going into the topic we have. What are your thoughts on bringing back Mark Guehi? It's not about me. I wouldn't say he's shown he can do it at Chelsea. He plays centrally, right? He plays centrally. Sorry?
Don't Crystal Palace play back four? You can't really specify where he plays.
But he still plays centrally in that back four, doesn't he?
I think so. Yeah, well, I don't know.
So again, given that, I wouldn't advise him coming right now. We have a buyback clause, so I wouldn't be in a hurry because we have Koulibaly and we have Thiago Silva. I don't think he's actually want to come back now. It wouldn't make sense to try to bring him back now. Fofana is injured again. We need. He said Fofana is injured, not delicious at all. That's the truth, brother. And again, go check out Phantom of Many Topics YouTube channel and let him know I sent you. Be sure to subscribe. We need 2 more CVs like Tuchel has asked, but has asked for our owner is having dinner with 19 Premier League. Again, that's why I said no matter how you see it, even if there are those working behind the scene, again, it just doesn't make sense for that to come out that he's doing that. It makes it seem as if he doesn't care, but the truth remains he cares, and maybe he's hired someone. That's why we're not hearing too much of him traveling, talking with this owner or that, or being the one negotiating. Maybe he's hired someone as a freelancer to help him get these things done, because he hasn't been talking much in terms of transfers. But that's, by the way, like I said, I'm going to skip quite a few. Baba, nice to see you. Tuchel was promised. Again, they're still going to come in. And here's the thing I really do want to talk about panic buys. If we buy in a rush,
that is a panic buy.
Sorry, here's why I want to talk about it. If we buy in a rush, we'll end up buying players we don't want to buy, and we'll end up being the ones also turning around and start blaming the manager. Look, a panic buy FC and the other names and all that. Look at Darwin Nunez. That could still change, but there's been a lot of howlers. Even when he's alone, he can't shoot in most cases. I'm sure you guys have seen, although because it's we Chelsea fans are probably finding those faults, and again, because Liverpool signed him. But the truth is, some of us knew it was too early to go get him. I think it would take him time to start firing on all cylinders at Liverpool. That's a panic buy. He's not close to Sadio Mane. Maybe with time he'll start doing, but right now it's looking like it's a panic buy, and I don't want that to happen to us. And I'm glad we didn't rush into the market trying to find another striker because Lukaku left and all that. But that's, by the way, again, Bobby says, again, bro, you need to be concerned. A preseason has been wasted. Chelsea FC you're not gonna push me into that box, and that's who I am. After this, I'm scrolling to the very bottom. Apologies if I miss your comments. Again, I'm going to continue. I will try to read your subsequent comments. And if I haven't said hello to you, hello to Chelsea the Kingslayer. Apologies, I'm only human, and that we don't have a studio engineer yet, but we're working on it. So I'm going to scroll to the very, very bottom to align the discussion to whatever we're talking about right now. Ty, do you have anything else to say?
I mean, I was going to say something else.
Yeah, go ahead. Say what you want to say.
The situation surrounding around this panic buy thing, I think a lot of people have the wrong thinking about what panic buy is. People think panic buy means that you just, when everything else fails, you just decide to just go and buy somebody. Panic. Mm-hmm. The word panic itself does not only mean that you're in a rush to do things. Panic means that you're not really thinking, or you just act quickly before thinking. And And that is really so. It does seem that was the case. You never know. You can never really know because Klopp does like to sign players from the Portuguese league. So maybe they were looking at him for a very long time. But at the same time, I think it could quite easily be a panic buy because Liverpool are not a team that just goes out and spend that amount of money all in one place. They tend to go the cheaper route. They may go maybe 50, the highest 60. They don't go over to closer to 70 or things like that. I think they maybe did that maybe once or twice on the club. So I think in that sense, panic buys means that just because and that's what people are saying too. Oh, look at what other teams are doing. We need to just go and sign this player. That's panic buying because you're looking at what other clubs are doing. You're saying that the club should just respond in a way to say that, okay, you make that sign, I'm going to make this signing. So I think people need to understand that panic buy is not only when you just decide to sign players in August because the market's about to close and you need to get players in.
Panic buy also could be, you could say, overpaying for a player, and I think they overpaid for Darwin Nunez. Even if later on, down the season he starts firing on all season. From what I've seen, we're talking about Lukaku having a bad touch. Darwin Nunez, from what I've seen so far, he has bad touch plus. And I'm serious. This is not me. This is not because we didn't. Even if it was Chelsea that signed him, you know how objective I can be. I'd be saying the same thing. We're saying Lukaku has bad touch, but Darwin Nunez, he has bad touch plus, and he should actually stop trying to do legovers. But that's me. We're not here to talk about Darwin Nunez.
Lukaku, which one?
Sorry?
Both do it.
No, I'm saying both has bad touches, but Darwin Nunez has bad touch plus.
Yeah, but you said he needs to stop. So which one?
He needs to stop. Darwin Nunez needs to stop trying to do legovers. I've seen that in a short.
What can do that? Because I've seen Lukaku did that last season.
Yeah, he tried, and somebody also wanted him to stop trying to do it too. It looks like they're both. I think Darwin Nunez. I think you have to put the chances on the plate for him to finish it. Maybe that will change because
Liverpool do that. They work the ball into the box, we get to the player's feet,
but that's not going to be happening all the time.
I think they could do it because I'm looking. Firmino was not the striker that he is now. They had to give him a deeper role, so he played like a deep lying one. So if they do that with him, then maybe he could do better. But if not as a focal point, like as a target man, essentially. It's the same thing with Haaland. If Man City do that, then they'll do fine. Because I don't really think signing that target man in both cases was really smart because they work better with fluidity. And what I've seen of Haaland, he has the pace and everything, but he does drain out a lot of the central focus that you have when you play a false nine.
Yeah. Let me catch up with the chat. I'll come back and I'll bring in my night brother. I can't rob, bro. My brother IBZ is in the house. IBZ, greetings to you. I hope you're doing well. I will come back to you in a bit. Ty, you wanted to say something?
No, I was just welcoming IBZ.
Yeah. IBZ, the legendary IBZ, and the one and only IBZ. I can't rob, brother.
I can't song or something. About to love or Sola one thing. So I can't song.
Yep. Thank you. Again, I'm going to catch up with the chat and I'll come back to the panel and bring in IBZ to see what he has to say. Again, we have 129 people watching and we have 75 likes, so which means we need just 25 more likes to get to 100 likes. You guys are absolute legends, and I appreciate you all for all the support and love you're showing at this particular channel. And again, we'll continue growing because we'll launch a sister channel, to be ready to cover the World Cup and again, international competitions and all that. Again, thank you. Kimso always looking to fight with me, and I can't believe you're saying this. He says that Tuchel can rest in the World Cup a period. Listen, he's going to burn out. He's going to burn out. And if you were paying attention, we talked about how he'd be awake watching videos repeatedly to understand the best way to approach a game against a particular opponent. That ain't easy. And he's been the scout. It's been a couple of whole thing. He needs to break. and plus the stress his divorce will put on him, because that's not simple too. That can kill a man. So give him a break, Kim. So give him a break, Kim. So please, okay. And then Ronaldo only won well. Again, SK1110. We'll see what happens, and we will talk about him in a bit. Yeah, we won the Champions League with those one-dimensional players. Lost in the quarterfinals the next season. Now he wants to improve the team, and we should back the man if that's what he wants to do. Let's do a Declan Rice, a panic buy. This man, I don't know if you're a Declan Rice agent, but we'll find out. Again, Kachila.
Why is he talking though? Doesn't he work for Fulham now?
Yeah, Prince Mohab says, yeah, he works for Fulham too. Yep. Kachila says TT can rest after beating Arsenal and Spurs a period. Again, then he will be even more tired, and we'll actually figure out the right way to beat them. Coach said a bad touch plus. Yeah, that's what it is. Actually, that's what I'm seeing right now. Lukaku Pro Max. Again, Gabriel Morbas. Again, that's what it is. Okay, so got it. If we win, if we win, players are good. If we lose, players are one-dimensional. City, then again, you can argue that. That's an argument for another day. Did Tuchel perform a miracle? Yes, he did. Indeed, because we had players that no one believed could win it. Some didn't even think it was even possible. I gave up. Look at Twitter 3 days ago. Yep, I'd say the same thing. Don't forget, we have a new Haaland in town. As what? Who are you talking about? Is it talking about Nunez? The big clubs will always get enough chances in the game, as most weaker clubs just pack the bus again. That's the truth. That's the truth in the Premier League. Which Chelsea manager has had say in buying players? They are lucky to be in the job long enough. That's the truth. But I think Thomas Tuchel stays longer because we have a new owner and things probably have changed. This is my please Ronaldo. Thomas Tuchel. I think we have a call scheduled for the next 3 hours. I'll tell him what you said. SKU. Again, believe me, I will. Big up, coach. Big up to you too. Ray Allen, I hope you're doing well, brother. Is Skriniar left or right-footed? I think he's comfortable with both. I'm not sure because I've seen him play on the right and on the left comfortably. I'm not sure which is the leg or the foot he used primarily, but I will find out in a bit. Skriniar is a righty. Okay, thank you for educating us on that. Kachila, they are being paid big money because of the stress they are into. Yeah, I get it. What about the stress fans are getting to with no rewards? Well, I don't know how to answer this one. Chelsea all the way. You looking for my trouble right now. I'm really not sure how to answer that. Go ahead, Ty.
People looking at the monetary side. Yeah, I was saying that people looking at the monetary side and that Tuchel's earning millions or whatever. But at the same time, the money can't buy happiness. So yeah, people think that you can buy your things for lifestyle and for well-being and food and things like that. But at the same time, if he's stressing over players not coming in, players that he wants to offload because they don't suit the system and it's obstructing him bringing in players that he wants, clearly he's gonna be stressed. So even though he's earning money, that would basically saying that money should be able to satisfy him. Mm-hmm. Which is not because like you said, he's going through the aftermath after his divorce because he was with his wife for 19 years, 18 years, depending on when he got that divorce. So that is not something because you have to readjust to spending not most of your life, but spending a long part of your life with somebody else and then having to readjust to not having that person anymore for whatever reason it was. So yes, he has a lot of things. He had to be the mediator. He had to be a PR person. He has to be the transfer guru, the transfer strategist, the manager, a psychologist for players who are feeling the pressure of humility. He has had to be the person to do all things. So people are saying that he's earning this amount of money. He's still a human being. He still goes through the same pain, the same groan, the same stress, the same mental problems that an average fan goes through. Yes, we're not earning money for our stress, But the stress that he's going through, money's not going to help that, because unless he's going to go to some bar and drink his problems away, which you can't do, there's no helping that. So yes, he's earning money for working and for winning things and achievements, but at the same time, he's a human being that goes through the same pain, the same heartache that fans go through as well. And he's connected to the club now because he's won things, so you gain connection with a club that you've won things with, and you've gone through finals, heartbreak, winning things, and coming back stronger. So he's a human being. People need to understand that the money is not going to help him from not being stressed, because people can die from stress.
Thank you very much for that. I appreciate that brilliant input there. Just quickly, I'll take a few comments here. I'll come back to the legendary IBZ to let us know how you feel. If he rates Saul, he would have played him a lot more. Saul wasn't a signing. Like we heard then, Saul was the club doing a favor to Saul's agent, who has good relationship with the club then. And again, it just doesn't make sense. Money cannot make happiness. Yep, that's the truth. I will take that stress for the money Tuchel is on, and then you will be on it, trying to make that money and probably not live long to enjoy it. That's simple facts of life. You should know that yourself. Again, the way things are, we might even have been linked with Maguire. I wouldn't be surprised if it happens, because some of those players we've been linked with are all just stories made up by journalists and all that. So who was moved to CFC in the same way Barca wanted to move FDJ, clear salary room to pay other players. TT raved about a player he hardly played after he looked like a Spanish Bakayoko. Again, Kachila, it's a two-way street with these signings. We have deadwoods to let go and players to bring in, but we also do not have a director of football, which would have helped the manager greatly. Yep, and then the people that would have helped, facilitate those things, would let them go. We should trust Tuchel with the defenders he needs. We trust them. The problem is the defenders themselves, do they want to come to us? He turned Rudiger and Christensen from the worst defenders in our team to world-class players. He did that, but like I said, the players we're looking at, do they want to come? Again, 127 people watching, and then 81 likes, 19 more to get to 100. Remember, we're shooting for 300 likes, and please, let's get to at least 100 likes by the time we get to 1 hour mark into the show. Greetings, my fellow champs. So what confuses me is that Chelsea keeps, shopping for defenders outside of the EPL. There are plenty of proven and quality defenders in the EPL, even in smaller clubs. Yep, again, it all comes down to what the manager wants. And by the way, D. Ludishenko, my brother, nice to see you here. I appreciate you finding time to join. I hope you're doing well. Again, all for Pau Torres and take Ronaldo. Again, we have our suggestions here. Brilliantly say that Tuchel is feeling the stress. Hopefully, Todd Boehly brings in top people to help Tuchel soon. So I want Tuchel to focus on what he's good at, which is coaching. Again, we have to find out. I think that's another delicious comment. He doesn't want to get involved in anything that has to do that has any measure of politics in it. Who can probably implement a Spanish Bakayoko? Even Ross, the boss, shined in fewer appearances. That's the truth. Again, Kachila, how can a Dina specialist be in charge of football transfers? You answered that question. Let's try Pochettino. Nope, I don't want to even go to Pochettino. I think he's so stubborn. You think Tuchel is stubborn in terms of playing, a particular system, or in terms of sticking to a particular system, formation, or whatever you want to say. Pochettino is the most stubborn. Again, I don't think I want that to happen. Smash the like button, beautiful people. Just 17 or more to get to 100 likes. And again, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I'm going to come back to the panel. Again, my brother, IBZ, let me ask you this. How are you feeling? Are you still on the panic box? Oh, you're still, you haven't joined the panic box. You've always said, yes, you never was on the panic box. And you've always said that you're confident. You've always called for people to be patient. It's going to be a long season. We should, tamper our expectations with a patience, because that's the truth. But go ahead. I want to know how you feel, how you think things are going.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. How's everyone doing? Panelist, coach, Ty. Who's that? Oh, yeah. How's everyone? Hope everyone's all good.
Mm-hmm.
The way it is, I heard what you were saying about Thomas Tuchel. You see Thomas Tuchel, yeah? I see a report today from, I think, The Sun. Oh,
Yeah.
Thomas Tuchel seen with Brazilian. I'm like, hang on, what's your business with what? Is it because he come out and spoke to you guys on Sunday saying he's not happy? So every time Tom, Nonce and Harry are just following him around trying to find out what's going on. Leave him. Let him deal with his divorce how he sees fit. If he wants to go out with a Brazilian, he can go out with a Brazilian. So I believe, let's just forget about his personal life. I don't believe he's. I understand you might be right, you know, Ty, when you said the stress of the divorce. I think that could play a factor. But I believe he's professional enough, and I believe we are all professional enough in our own workplace not to take your personal life into your workspace life. Yeah? No, albeit how high profile you may be. Now, obviously, it's very hard for someone like Thomas Tuchel because you live in a public eye. Obviously, we don't know your private life per se, but you live in a public eye, so everyone's going to have an opinion. Everyone's going to think what's going on. But I believe he is stressed, but I believe he's okay enough to balance it out. Obviously, what you get in the workplace is different from what you get at home. Like I was listening to what Arteta was saying yesterday in a leak from the documentary of All or Nothing when he was having a team talk before Norwich. He says, out of the Richter scale from 10 to 1, after the Man City loss, he was below 0. But what happens is, what makes him feel better is when he goes home to his family, the people that love him, not us, not the media, because we don't give a dash. We just care about the headlines. So, Arteta's under pressure. We love it. We click into it. We give our opinions through a few comments on a space. We don't really care. If we're honest, we do not care for his well-being. But when he goes home to his family, when he sees the players, that gives him the lift to continue to do what he's doing every day. And I believe that it will be the case with Thomas Tuchel. Yes, he's not happy with our 4-0 loss, but does he hate any of those individuals personally? No. It's the game, innit? So what I will understand that he will come to the fore the next day with a fresh mind. Lads, don't worry about it, you know, move on, you know, and we get it moving. Obviously, it's stressful. I look back into Manchester United. Manchester United had a very poor season last year. But in between games, when you look at their training sessions, you see them laughing, you see them smiling, you see them going on as if nothing happened. And that's because you're not allowing the work to mentally drain your mindset, because they know how to take between work and personal life. I saw it with the Chelsea players when they were doing ping pong. After I lost to Arsenal, we got Kai Havertz, we got Jorginho, all the man that back at Cobham just playing ping pong football. Why? Because what we are stressing about, they may not stress about because it's a job. So I don't want them to delve into it and beat themselves up. And I wouldn't expect Thomas Tuchel to do the same. I totally disregard that. I believe he's so professional that he will not allow, and he's such a militant man, a disciplinarian. He just comes across as some head teacher, one strict principal I had in boarding school, that he will not allow the outside to interfere with his workplace. You know what I'm trying to say? So I believe we're okay. But I do agree with what you guys were saying, that maybe he does need a little break. Go and just refresh your mind. Because you, coach, you're here at 3 o'clock in the morning American time, hosting a space. My brother, when are you going to sleep? When is your brain going to refresh? You feel what I'm trying to say? So I understand the brain does need a break. And, you know, you do need downtime so you're rejuvenated. But I believe with the money that Thomas Tuchel is getting, I believe he's well in place to sort all of that out. With that being said, more money, more problems, like the boy Biggie Small says. You know what I'm trying to say? So it is what it is. I believe he's okay. And I don't want us to stress about the mindset of our gaffer. I think he's okay. I think when I heard that it was with a girl, he's with a Brazilian girl. I mean, I don't know about you, but if I'm with a Brazilian girl, I think my stresses will be parked off to the corner for a little bit. You know what I'm trying to say?
I mean, who wouldn't?
Muito.
Go ahead, IBZ. No, that's in fact the truth. You know, all work without play makes Jack a dull boy.
Exactly. In regards to Darwin Nunez, panic buy. I do not believe that was a panic buy. Darwin Nunez wasn't a panic buy from. I think it was actually the contrary. It was actually. I think it was. From when I read it in the Athletic, it was more of a thing where the previous the scouting department were challenged as to not being robust enough as to what the hell were they doing, in which they had targets. They had Rafa from Benfica and they had Darwin Nunez. Obviously, the latter.
Here's why I think it's a panic buy. They lost Sadio Mane, and they didn't think he was going to leave. They in a hurry needed a replacement for him.
Okay.
And then they paid how much they paid for that kid. I think it was too much because he's in. Again, you see what's going on with the games. Yes, he scored, I think, how many goals, but you should see him play. Overall,
No,
you should see the disgust on even Klopp's face.
And again,
I know what you say. I know what you're saying. But I believe they've meticulously they've scouted this player, identified him, and wanted him. Newcastle put a bid in for this guy in January. That failed. Manchester United were in for this guy. Obviously, Liverpool went on to sign him. I think what the impression we're getting is obviously that.
Look, let me clear something first, brother.
Go on, bro.
Panic buy doesn't mean it's not going to come good at some point.
Okay.
But he isn't ready now. That's just what I'm saying. But go ahead.
Okay. No, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. I believe. I don't believe that. Maybe because of the fee, and we have to understand that Liverpool are not accustomed to spending £80 million on a player. We're not used to seeing that, and I believe that it became a situation where Sadio Mane wanted to leave. I believe that he wanted to leave. I don't believe that it was a situation where he wanted to stay. I think that was with Salah. More than it was with Sadio Mane. And I believe that they needed to replace that. Obviously, they brought in
and they didn't value him. They didn't value him.
Yeah, you could argue they didn't value him as much as they did Salah. But at the same time, he wanted to leave, new challenge, sign. They brought in Diaz, which I believe wasn't to replace Salah, but Mane, but just to work around it because their attacking options out wide was a bit slim with them going African nations. So now Nunez has come. I believe that may be a shift in pattern to what Klopp will play. Apparently, Klopp may move to a 4-2-3-1 to accommodate Darwin Nunez. We never know. But I believe I don't believe it was a panic. I don't believe Liverpool had that, we don't know what we're gonna do. Oh no, panic buy. Because remember, you got to remember they were going through Fabio Carvalho as well. He can not say he's got to replace Sadio Mane. God no, he's only 19. But like you used to say, they already had the pathway of players they'll be bringing in that will be the next generation of Liverpool. So I believe this. I think it's okay. I'm annoyed that this guy's going to score goals and then we ain't got a striker. But it is what it is. I believe that we shouldn't panic. I don't believe that we should look at everyone else's business model and be like, oh, why are they doing business and why we're not? I believe everyone's got their business model and it works for them. Obviously, it's not good looking at others signing strikers and we have let ours go and we haven't replaced him, albeit we have players that can play striking position in Cobham that we don't know the future. So it is, I understand the frustration, but I believe, like I say in it, we at the end of the day, we have a 25-man squad, 30-man squad, 25 to be registered. We got a lot of games to play this year. Let's just be realistic and know that it may not be what we are wanting. And then panic buy will not come. I don't believe we will panic buy. I believe we will panic buy, but I don't believe we will panic buy in the sense like when Tottenham sold Gareth Bale. They didn't panic buy, but they were buying aimlessly. Or when Everton sold Lukaku to Man United and they just start buying aimlessly. I don't believe we'll be on that wave. I believe that we'll be very, very, very smart in it. Not signing players for the sake of it. And hopefully it comes to fruition. I just hope that this year it doesn't go too bad. But I believe with Thomas Tuchel's coaching skills, we won't be as bad as I'm even in projecting. I project top 6, coach. That's me. Top 4. Top 4 is a bonus to me, but that's my projection. Top 6.
Yeah, you don't want to get your hopes up all up, and then because it happens. So I'm gonna catch up on the chat, and again, thank you guys. 131 people watching, and 89 likes, 11 more to get to 100. Thank you very much. And soon I'll put up a poll here to learn something. Again, Bolarinwa Olubori, again, Ekaro, my brother, I hope you're doing well. He says Chelsea should let Werner leave if he wants to leave and give Broja an opportunity to show himself. Again, I don't think, even if Werner don't leave, I don't think he'd be the reason why Broja won't start enough games. But we'll talk about that in a bit. Says Luigi Pellegrini says, remove the players who want to leave and have or buy players who wants to stay. Again, usually the process is you don't let players go, except if you're sure you can bring in replacement. Otherwise, if you're not able to bring in, like if, for instance, even if we're going to let Werner go, if we intend on, if we plan on bringing in a replacement, we could still sell him even in the coming months. We don't have to sell him now. We hold on to him. He keeps playing for us until we get in a replacement. It happens all the time. Go to news now in Chelsea. All news here again. On Google, he's talking to someone else. We might pull off a double deal if Chelsea can pull it off. I think we can. We'll talk about Skriniar in a bit. Tell us about that news. We want to know more. Good morning, folks. Good morning to you too. Oscar Lee, I hope you're doing well. Declared bringing a fight here. He said, how is it a panic buy? They brought him straight away when the transfer window opened, and you see how bad the striker market is at the moment. Here's the thing. Maybe your definition of panic buy differs, and my definition of panic buy differs. It is a panic buy in the sense of, I think, personally, they paid too much for him, and I think they were in a rush to get him in because they found out Sadio Mane will be leaving. Maybe they knew before time that he was leaving. It doesn't look like something that was scouted properly, given how it doesn't look like he fits in well with them. And again, you heard what I've said about his back touch. I could be wrong. Maybe he's just, the pressure is still too much on him as a young star who they've spent that much on him. But Declare, if you want to start fighting with me, I'm going to true blue you. I would true blue you. I have to let you know now, if you heard me. But you know I love you, brother. Thank you for that input there. I appreciate that. Panic buying is 50-50. It's not that all of our non-panic signings are shown. Again, maybe I just hope we get a top 4 and one of our players get 15 goals. Even if none of our players get 15 goals. Again, let the goals be spread everywhere. Usually you do better in most cases when the goals are spread everywhere. That shows that even when the person you expect to score that much goals aren't getting the goals can come from somewhere else. Because usually you've seen a team, for instance, Ronaldo scored 20 plus goals, but where did Man United end up? So, but maybe that example doesn't really work, but you're better off when the goals come from every department, not just a single player.
How do we win the league? The last
time Costa and Hazard just taking the absolute mickey and Kante doing Kante things.
Again, it wasn't just them. There are games that it wasn't Costa that won it for us.
Because Cahill scored a couple of goals. You had Kante who scored obviously a couple of goals.
Even Fabregas, that was season Fabregas won some games for us.
Mati scored some goals. He scored some.
Willian
scored. Pedro scored goals.
Do you remember Matic's goal in the FA Cup against Tottenham?
Oh my! He doesn't score simple goals. He always does scores, man. Like he took the net off. The net was shaking off. So that is what goals come from everywhere. So that is why it's important to have players and that is why because look at Man City. Man City didn't have a striker, and their highest goal scorer in the Premier League, not last season, the season before that, was Gundogan. But they had goals spreading around. They were winning teams 5-0, 6-0, 7-0, and they were smashing teams. So it's important to have.
That's when you know you have a good team. Yep. Ty, go ahead. Sorry for cutting you off.
No, that's it.
Yeah. Again, the point is we should stop talking about finding a finisher, and then forgetting that when you find a finisher, you're bringing into the team a player, you're bringing him as a point of reference when it's time to score goals, which means every opportunity, every effort to score goals will be channeled, towards that single individual. And again, in most cases, it happens subconsciously and sometimes by design. And under Thomas Tuchel, he doesn't want that. When we brought in Lukaku, just pay attention to the games he played, especially when he newly arrived. every time the players from the midfield, the defense, and the wingers, wing backs, whenever they have the ball, it just seemed as if the aim was always to look for Lukaku. And that's not good for the team. But that's another argument for another day. What we want is for the goals. Look, you listen to Kai, you heard IPC also talk about how the goals were coming from everywhere. Defenders, midfielders, wingers, wing backs. And we won the league. And if you look again, it doesn't. We don't want a situation whereby we want the whole thing will be about a single individual. It kills the team. We don't want that to happen. But that's by the way. I'm going to catch up with the chat again. We will move into the topics we have lined up. Again, we need just 6 more likes to get to 100 likes. If you haven't, take a second to like the video and also do subscribe to the channel. And we have an exercise to do where we'll start the rebuilding again. Again, like we said, it is dynamic. In the sense that as we get clearer understanding of what the club is doing in the transfer market, we will bring up the lineup again, and then make adjustments as necessary. People are already judging Darwin Nunez in preseason. That's more than day football fans. That's the truth. But again, like I said, it may well be the case. May well be because there's so much pressure on him. He'll still come good. But my definition of panic buy differs from what others are saying. But there's something to learn here too from Chelsea the Kingslayer's definition of panic buy. From what I'm learning, he said Darwin Nunez was bought early in the window, not a panic buy. Again, I'd like you to explain because he was bought early in the window. That doesn't make it a panic buy. That means he's not a panic buy.
And that is why I was saying that people look at panic buy as being where you just sign somebody last minute. Panic?
No, that's not panic buy. That's a different kind of panic buy too.
If I go panic buy deadline day,
only signing players last minute. Panic in itself means that you do something and you're not thinking about it. Really, you're not in the right headspace.
Because circumstances is forcing you to do so.
Yeah. So basically, and plus, let's not forget. Man United were talking to him. They were confident of getting him. And also know we hear that in only 2 days they made the bid. It was accepted. He come with his medical. They unveiled him. So it's not just about signing somebody last minute or because all the other targets has failed. You just say, okay, I'm just going to go for this player then. We need to get this player in. Mane left here. It was an early signing, but at the same time, that doesn't mean that it's not a panic buy because they got him in, and obviously they do score players, but it's the fact that all the know they just happen to just pull in and they just pay more than what Man United were willing to pay. So and that's what they do. They don't just go on this and say I'm going to give this club this amount for this player. They don't do that. They negotiate first. They didn't negotiate. They just put it in the price.
Okay, we lost you. Yeah, thank you very much. Ty, it looks like you're breaking up a bit. Yeah, go ahead, IBC.
Sorry, even still, you see this Darwin Nunez price of 80 mil. It don't move me. Like I believe it's okay for Liverpool to, considering like their net spend over the past couple of seasons. They don't spend 80 mil. That's calm. That's calm. You know what I mean? Like that's I don't see a panic. I don't see any desperation or the only probably highest I'll probably think is that they didn't want Man United to get him and they went in for him. Maybe that's the only sense of urgency they probably had with this deal.
So they paid more than they should.
So they paid over the odds. Maybe but I reckon that would you would have played around that fee anyway. It wasn't in his last year's contract. He's still got years to go. He's a striker. I mean, it just ticks all the boxes of how you get him. And I understand though, 80 million, maybe because of the fact that it's 80 million and we've never seen this guy before play and Liverpool are not accustomed to it, so we think it's a panic. But I believe that they were ready for this, and I think it's all right. I think he'll hit the ground running. And it's annoying. It's annoying that he will hit the ground running, but it is what it is.
We'll see if he does. Again, good luck to him. I don't wish any player bad luck, even if you're playing for my opponent. Again, that's not who I am. we should be able to beat every opponent. Again, if you're watching, just two
someone
more.
Someone said something about top 6. Put that comment on.
Okay, from Bobby. Go ahead. You want to respond to that? Just quickly. Go ahead. Let's move on to the topics we have, brother. Go ahead.
What did he say again?
Should I read it for you?
To get back into after you drop out. Okay, no. I think he's.
He is for you. And then again, he is with you in that argument.
Yeah, he's with me.
Again, if you're watching, we need just again we just hit 100 likes. So thank you. I cannot thank you guys enough. Then 200 more to go to get to 300 likes. We haven't reached 300 likes before on this show. We're averaging, 200, 150, and again, the most we've gotten was I think 286. Yeah, go ahead, Ty.
I wasn't saying anything.
Oh, okay. So again, we will get there, people. So keep liking the video, and also please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Here's where I want us to talk about this quickly. Let me just set up this so I don't mix things up. By the way, you guys are absolute legend. I can't thank you guys enough for all the love you've shown this channel. Again, you're the reason why I have the strength to wake up every day, 2:30 a.m. to start preparing for the show. Again, Chelsea FC have not made any contact for Harry Kane. We knew that was never going to happen. It have to take something astronomical, something out of this world to tempt them for that to happen. Yeah.
Oh my God! You only get an England captain.
Yeah.
Leaving one half of London to go to the other side of London.
Mm-hmm.
Probably, arguably, one of the best finishers in world football right now.
Yeah.
And we have 2 weeks a week until the season starts, 4 weeks until the window closes, and we are linked to him. Let's wake up and smell the wood that's burning, bro.
I hope you paid attention to all the points IBC talked about a few weeks before the season starts. One London club to the other, especially Tottenham and all those things. It's never going to happen.
England captain.
Yes.
What are we talking about, man? Harry Kane.
No, I thought people were telling me that he would come to the club because he has his London brethren here. His England. Yes, we have Wilson Mount, we have Sterling, we have Chilwell, James. England fans are here.
Yeah, it's never going to happen. So, Ty, let me start with you. The Ronaldo one is the one that's confusing me. We heard that the manager doesn't want him. He blocked the club going for him. It has come out now. And actually, nobody wants him. If you're paying attention, really, it doesn't look like anybody wants him. Maybe he's talking to some other club we don't know. We heard that he was linked to Atletico Madrid. It turns out the president came out and said, I'm not sure who fabricated that story. And that is teaching us even more to not believe everything we see out there. In most cases, you could start arguing right now that more than 70% of everything we see out there are all absolute nonsense. From how we've signed, Dembele has signed a 5-year deal with us, to how we've already made a bid for Delete, to how Thomas Tuchel wants Lewandowski. All those things, again, we're learning the hard way that those things are absolutely, in most cases, are absolute horse doo-doo, if you want to say it that way. But if we want to talk about it, we heard that the manager blocked him. The manager doesn't want him. Now we're hearing that Todd Boehly wants him. It just doesn't make sense. But I want us to talk about it and stop talking about it, except if we see anything serious, of which it doesn't look like it's happening. Even my brother from Worldwide, Sadiq, started saying we may end up going for Ronaldo on loan because we have something similar. If we haven't, I checked for the tweet, I didn't see it because we haven't, we haven't gotten any striker in. I don't think that will even happen. If in fact Thomas Tuchel blocked us, stopped us from signing him, it simply means he sees what some of us have called for, clamored. That is, we understand he brings goals, but there are other issues he brings too, no matter how you see it. But that's, by the way, Ty, starting with you, what do you think about the Ronaldo links? Does it make sense? And do you think it will ever happen?
Yes. Yes and no. I understand the links because Todd Boehly is a man that watches football. He may not understand the transfer market, but he does watch football. And plus, players like Ronaldo, Messi, and people like that. You don't need to watch football during a season to know these players. They are players that are attractive. They're players that are famous for what they've done. And I mean, in terms of who the player is, if you look at Ronaldo, people say Ronaldo is Ronaldo. How can you say no to Ronaldo? But the underlying issues that he brings to the team is the issue. And I think maybe that is one of the reasons, because I mean you're one to say that if we get a Ronaldo and things go sour, will player power come into play? Because people say that he's achieved more than Tuchel, and fans would side with the players. I know it's not we don't know the motives or the thoughts of this new board. Yes, we saw what happened in terms of what we believed to be the case, where the board was backing Tuchel in terms of Lukaku, but then we hear that Petr Cech and Marina wanted to keep Lukaku. So frankly, I mean, the board is not only those two persons, or it's not only made of those two only. But at the same time, I think that yes, it makes sense, because Todd Boehly, and you were seeing things, whether or not it's true, that Todd Boehly likes him. And I mean, who wouldn't like the player Ronaldo? And I think people would take him if you see there's no those issues of him, in terms of what he brings to the team, in terms of the dressing room and things like that. I would take him because he has the role model stand where he could help a player like a Broja, to develop his game, help him, push him, because that's what he does with his son, and he pushes people to their best. But at the same time, he does have his underlying issues. He's arrogant, and I mean, when I say that, he in a sense he'll feel like he has the right to be arrogant because only one. I'm not saying it's right, but he will believe that he deserves to be arrogant because he's won things, he's broken records, and I think that is what fuels him. Records. If he sees his record, he's going to push himself to do it, and that's what he's done. Winning, getting the most assists, getting the more goals, creation, chances created, and winning things like that. Those are the things that fuels his hunger and his love for football, because he knows that he has it in himself to break records. So I believe that yes, it's something that Todd Boehly himself will look at and say that yes, we can bring in this player because he would bring goals, which he will. You guarantee that. But at the same time, considering the fact that too, we probably looked at the fact that okay, why is Man United looking so depleted? Why is it a case where without him in the team, they don't look like they have a fluidity? Yes, he takes a lot of things, but people have this wrong narrative as well. Yes, he brings those things in terms of negatives, but he also brings positive on the pitch, because people say that all he does, they say he doesn't create, he doesn't do that. But I can remember a lot of games I was watching with Man United, especially when they lost games to Brighton and things like that, where he created opportunities for Bruno Fernandes, chances for Rashford, and they shot it right on the goalkeeper or wide. So it's not a case where he's not trying to distribute the goals amongst his teammates. It's not that sometimes they're not finishing it. So I mean, yes, he does positive things on the pitch, but at the same time, the negatives that he will bring in terms of having that arrogance, believing, because I can frankly see a Ronaldo saying that Tuchel telling Ronaldo something, and he's like, okay, you're telling me what I have instinct to do and things like that. So I believe in a sense there would be underlying issues surrounding it. So yes, he would bring goals, yes, he would bring creation, and he can create chances for himself, and he has that instinct, and he brings that aerial ability. But at the same time, him blocking the move is the right move in terms of everything. I'm not only looking at the fact that Ronaldo is Ronaldo, because every time I ask somebody why they want Ronaldo, they'll say that Ronaldo is Ronaldo. And yes, Ronaldo is Ronaldo in terms of goal scoring. But at the same time, there is issues surrounding him that we don't want to bring to the club, because we've seen in the past where world-class players or players that have made a legendary status for themselves in the world of football, because they don't like a manager, or because they don't think the manager and them get along, they get fired to please what those legendary players are, because they threaten to leave the club. So there are issues surrounding it.
And again, I've been referring people to go watch the latest video that Terry from Football Terrace did on Cristiano Ronaldo. There's a lot of evidence. There's a way. I just wish the panic bus driver was here. I love this argument on why we shouldn't sign Ronaldo. Again, will he bring goals? Yes, Ronaldo will bring goals, but there's a lot more that he brings. Some of which you're not going to like, whether you like it or not. It will start happening either by design or again by subconsciously. But that's an argument for another day. And now I think I'm going to turn into a true blue here because we have one of those. Maybe I don't know if it's the conductor of the Ronaldo bus or the driver. Declad just joined. Big up. I don't know if I should call you brother now because I'm playing True Blue and you're Declad. But Declad, how are you doing, brother?
Big up everyone, big up panel. Yeah, I did come here to fight with you, so True Blue is very fitting. But I don't want to fight the person that works at Chelsea, so I'm a bit conflicted as well.
I'm not going to say anything to you. Declan, coming to the Ronaldo argument, I'm sure you heard everything we talked about.
I did.
I know your stance on that. We're hearing again, Todd Boehly wants him. Probably, if that's the truth, he probably wants him for business purposes. The fact short sales and all that, and then again, he wants to, should I say broaden? Or maybe just maybe polish. I don't know what word to use. The club's as a brand. Again, your thoughts on everything we've talked about. That Thomas Tuchel blocked him coming, but it looks like Todd Boehly is still keen on getting him. Would you advocate for that happening if the manager blocked him joining us in the first place? That's the term he used, and there's no way to tell if that was in fact the case.
If that was the case, it's a good sign, to be honest. Because it goes to show that Tuchel gets the last say. I mean, Todd Boehly can have his ideas.
That's
and what
from the perspective of Tuchel not wanting him to come.
Yeah, but like, was it Ty who said that? Or no, I'm sorry, whoever said it about towards the end of the season that it can be a loan if we get desperate.
I think it was my friend and brother Sadiq from Worldwide Chess who said that.
Oh, sorry. I wasn't sure who you referred to. Yes and no. If I get the feeling we're keeping Broja, so I think that in terms of Broja and Havertz, I think he would want to go into the season with that rather than Ronaldo. But I mean, Ronaldo's fun. I want to see him. Ronaldo is that shaman, that priest, that figure, that legendary status, the guy. He has to come in. You know what we have to do with Ronaldo? He has to come in as the elder, as his special powers, and we give him the number 9 shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we give him that number 9 curse shirt, and he has to break the curse for us. That's what I think Ronaldo does. He breaks the curse, and then when he leaves, he gives the number 9 to Broja, and he continues on.
Do you know you can get millions of Chelsea fans to believe you and jump on this boss you just pulled over with right now?
You think I should tweet it out? I'm going to tweet it out.
I think you should.
We need him to break the curse.
I will actually retweet it. It will garner support, but go ahead.
I'm probably it would break the curse. Who's better, Messi or Ronaldo?
Who would break the curse? One of them. Yeah. We need someone to break the curse. That's what we need. We need Messi or Ronaldo.
Breaking the curse, and the whole team becomes a sacrifice that the gods need.
Yeah.
That Rodman.
If Ronaldo cannot break the curse, then that shirt should be burnt and retired and never mentioned again, and not given to anyone. If Ronaldo can't score, with everything in his power, if he can't break the curse, then we don't give that shirt to anyone. It should be more than retired. It should be buried and never heard of again. And it should be not even named. You know how some superstitious cultures they don't mention certain numbers and that, and they skip like unlucky numbers. You're like that. At Chelsea, you don't talk about 9. No one says the number 9 ever. So that's what Ronaldo needs to do. That's why we get him in. Besides that, yeah, whatever. I just want to do the and laugh at Man United fans.
So you are like one of those Chelsea fans, and then more importantly, you want the name Ronaldo That's me accusing you. You know, again, like I told you,
it's just a lot of fun if you get
me, Declan, I'm gonna true blue you. But go ahead.
I'm pretty sure True Blue was one Ronaldo, but regardless, I mean, he's gonna score.
I don't know. Yeah.
Even if
I don't know.
Yeah, you don't think so? Score?
No. I know that. I know exactly. I'm with you.
Yeah,
I was saying that. Why don't we just get him? Like, why not?
I think that we have to go back to what we've been saying. This is the time. This is a chance for Tuchel to get his players, and all I want, and I don't care if they're not big names, is just someone that's gonna play the role that he wants with the characteristics that he wants.
Mm-hmm.
And so we can see the way he wants to play, and if he wants to play the current system at its best. Because what we saw last season was a band-aid, was a makeshift to accommodate some people. We never saw the best of it. It was done in a way to accommodate some players, but it never flowed to the best way. So I just want to see that, to be honest. And if he sees Ronaldo and he says, well, nothing's going to flow here, I can't get the best out of the system, and then he's going to cause a lot of trouble, because Lukaku might have done the same thing. Lukaku might have come in, and for all the issues that he brought in the dressing room, he might see Ronaldo doing the same thing, maybe, and everyone's been saying that. I'm not comparing Ronaldo and Lukaku, but I felt a disharmony last season. Maybe doesn't want that to continue. I'm not sure if it's a control thing, but I'm hoping that Tuchel doesn't see this guy getting the best out of him in his system, and then how do you drop Ronaldo? Like, I mean, when Carrick dropped Ronaldo, it was like the biggest news, and that's Man United media. Do you know what I mean? Imagine with Chelsea. I think they'll make the best out of it. So I can understand Tuchel not wanting it. I can understand people's reservations as well.
Wow.
But I'm that was a little bit devil's advocate. I desperately want a goal scorer. That's why I want Ronaldo.
Yeah, I think we'll fight over that another day.
After looking at the 4-0 loss, yeah, to Arsenal, are you telling me? Yeah, you say you look at Cristiano Ronaldo and say, nah, I don't want Ronaldo because we don't need him. Would you honestly look yourself in the mirror and give yourself that realization that, oh, you know what, Sunday's 4-0 loss is not. It's just pre-season. The boys just want to get fit. I still don't want Ronaldo. You know, busy. I've watched so many preseason games in the past, and I've seen so many ridiculous results. I've seen so many players play so well and do so badly. I've seen teams that have bad preseasons do well. I've seen all of it, and because the focus is different on preseason. The focus isn't winning in preseason. The focus is fitness and putting a player to play a role. Yeah, there's other goals in mind, right? So you can't judge the loss when the game's focus wasn't to win, right? It was there was other priorities before winning. Right? Forget even if we didn't win, which we obviously didn't. But look at the gameplay.
No, I get your point. I was going to get to it. I was going to actually get to it. When I say Batshuayi, right? Then I'm like, no, this can't be it. And what I have big regrets is that Broja was injured, and I really wanted to see the kid in preseason. I'm a fan what he did at Southampton. He's actually good for his age. He's phenomenal. He's good on the ball. He was playing second fiddle to Chair and who was the other striker?
I'm not sure his name.
He was
Che Adams and Armstrong.
Che Adams and who's the other one? Armstrong. So he was playing second fiddle to these strikers. So he wasn't even playing as a focal point. He was playing if you watch his games, he was left and right. He actually dribbled players. He's a massive player.
And I'm sure Tuchel saw all those things. That's why even we're
so
hearing his agreed terms with West Ham United. Tuchel still came out and said openly he's not leaving.
Yeah. So even there was a lot of games where he should have got way more assists as well. And this is a guy. This is meant to be the number 9, and he was doing everything else but number 9. And when a chance came to him, he scored some fabulous goals, and he has a shot on him, right? And then I started thinking, imagine this guy was the more focus. And then in a system where we all talked about, we need a striker has to do a bit more. We've seen an actual focal point that doesn't want to move, and now we have a young kid who has the body and the strength as a focal point, right? Has the shot and finishing as a focal, like a traditional striker, but it
can be used as a hybrid striker too.
Yeah, and also can do the left and right and dribble on the ball. And he's only 20 years old? You're kidding me, right? We have to keep this kid. And this is you're never gonna. And for any young player, there's never going to be a better opportunity to break in the team than now, right?
And Tuchel knows that. Let me catch up with the chat quickly. It's becoming too long.
And the thing is, and that's why I was going to make up the point. It's not even when it's competition. Kai Havertz is right. Kai Havertz can play along any of the front three as well, so he can play alongside Kai Havertz. If all of a sudden we get a Kai Havertz that starts performing, and then a Broja is in peak form, both of these players can play at the same time. It's not that one's going to knock out the other. Do you know what I'm saying? And there's so much.
Can play as that is two strikers.
There's so much that can happen there, and I think Tuchel sees that. There's so much he can do, and the boy is fresh. I think that's great for someone like that's if Tuchel's trying to instill him in tactics.
And we can see Tuchel, like it's clear he prefers fluidity, and you can get that with Broja and Kai Havertz up front with either Mason Mount or maybe Conor Gallagher close to them, or whoever you play, even Christian Pulisic. You can get fluidity, which is what he prefers.
You guys are cooking something. You guys are cooking something. Yeah,
so let me catch up with the chat quickly, so it's not too long. Go ahead, Ty. What did you say? Just let me catch up with the chat quickly. It's becoming too long, bro. Go ahead.
Don't use Havertz in a 2 up top. Use him behind a striker. People gonna continue.
That's another way to use him. But again, we'll talk about that in a bit. But I get your argument. Again, even though he's able to fulfill that role, that's not his best position. Wherever he is close to the final third, I want him there. Even when he doesn't score. He has he's so intelligent. He's one of the best players in the team that knows how to exploit the slight spaces he finds. Again, most people don't know that he's that good. But that's, by the way, I'm going to catch up with the chat quickly. I want to say again, hey, Kachila and the panel, again, hello to the queen of the house. Nice to see you here. I hope you're doing well. And if you're in the chat, again, I don't want to say what it is that she's going through. But if you're in the chat, please take a second to tell Judge Viola that we're all praying for her. She will overcome whatever it is, she or her family, or whatever they're going through. Again, she will overcome. We all love her, and we love to see you find time to join us, even after everything. Again, thanks again. He says, hi, everyone. Says, again, let me see if there's anything to address here. I wouldn't mind CR7 here at Chelsea. He's a winner. His passing to teammates, players, amazing. Again, he brings more than goals, but we'll talk about more of that. I don't want to drag this blame game too much, but I will say this again, and thank you for saying that. Let me see. Again, I may have to scroll to the very bottom of the whole comment here. Titi has no pool. Again, that's just going to distract us from what the comments were discussing currently. He says, okay, just they're having a conversation there. Chelsea can loan Ronaldo for a year because we need to score goals. This is the same movie, the same story we heard when we're looking for Romelu Lukaku. We were looking for a goal scorer. Get a goal scorer. And then we got a goal scorer, and then he became a point of reference whenever we want to score goals. Whether you like it or not, it happened either subconsciously or by design that whenever Lukaku was on the pitch for us, especially when he that is the first few games, it seemed as if the focus was him. Everybody was looking for him. The midfielders, the wingers, and the wing backs were all looking for. Even the defenders were all looking for him. And then we learned that whenever he isn't on the pitch, we scored more goals. We created more chances. We were more fluid. So again, I don't know if Ronaldo's case will be different because he's a much, much better player, technically and otherwise. But the truth remains, Ronaldo will bring you more than just goals. And I don't want to get into that argument right now. Ronaldo will bring a winning mentality. Yeah, again, I get that. CR7 is a short-term fix, but can cause long-term problems. If I say this is a delicious comment from Lee Bell, and by the way, Lee Bell, how are you doing? Let us know. I haven't seen you in a while. Let us know you're good. The argument will be because probably he agrees with me, but I don't want to say that. Again, the guy just spent $4 billion. Todd would make some money off Ronaldo. That's why I say probably if he's pushing for us to sign Ronaldo, he's probably seeing things, from business perspective. Not for footballing wise, and again, branding on all those things I've talked about. I am the panic. You are on the panic boss. Again, probably you should be the driver, not Rodrigo, because you started panicking even Rodrigo did. But that's, by the way, did you all see the protest from Athletic fans? They don't want CR7 there. It is the environment he brings. He's more than just a footballer. He's a big name. And I'm still going to say this.
He's a Real Madrid legend. That's why.
He built
again, that's part of it. If you're not... Sorry?
He broke the hearts as well because he scored...
exactly.
He scored... I think it was at Juventus or Real Madrid. And they
exactly.
Were
so the protest there is for another reason. It's probably because of the rivalry, like the Clad just pointed out, between the Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid. But again, if you look, and there are not too many clubs. We don't know, but to me, from what I'm seeing, that not too many clubs are looking to sign him. I don't know, except for the Saudi Arabia. Is it Saudi Arabia or Dubai? What club? I heard millions. I'm not sure. I don't want to quote something off the top of my head and misquote somebody, but it doesn't look like Tuchel wants him. But I'm going to move away from him, guys, and I'm going to bring in IBZ. Your thoughts on the Ronaldo argument? It's lingered on, and it's not going to go away until he signs for one club or the other.
Yeah, I saw it yesterday. I saw the thumbnails. It was just all Ronaldo. And I guess that's the concern that obviously Tuchel has if he comes to Chelsea. Obviously, it will become the Ronaldo show. And that's off the pitch. The media circus, his brand. Arguably one of the greatest footballers to ever play the sport that we're all invested in.
Nobody can take that away.
Boy, how do you turn that down? How do you say no because of what? I saw a comment there said, obviously, which you claimed as delicious. I understand, but what long-term problems?
You see, now you're saying because he agrees with me.
No. But what?
No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I know. What problems can a 38-year-old bring you long-term if you're signing him for a year? What long-term problems can Ronaldo bring? We're not talking about someone that's going to be part of the backroom staff after he leaves. We're not talking about a player coach. We're talking about someone that wants to play for the final years of his top-flight career. And what, giving him a year? If we can give Gonzalo Higuain a year, why can't we give Ronaldo? I'm just saying, innit? But, again, Tuchel doesn't want him. Tuchel's reasons for not wanting him, I'm with you, boss. That's me, innit? But as a consumer, as a fan of the sport, you don't see Cristiano Ronaldo every day and say, nah, I don't want him. You know, what the hell? This is someone that was born to score goals. When he was born in the hospital, there was a football next to him. Like, do you not understand? This is
honestly, IBZ, you should be a hype man too.
You don't understand. What I'm trying to say is, like, I understand that we shouldn't sign him. I understand, but I even if it's for a year, even that 1 year could be the catalyst of what we need to be doing. He can be the catalyst to I'm not saying he's going to bridge our gap. I'm not saying if we sign him, he's going to bridge the gap. No way. But he could be a good catalyst as to what we want to do. He could be a good mentor.
Now you're talking like you're Todd Boehly. You're saying things from a business perspective.
He could be
and plus the ability to bring in big name players because he's at the club. But go ahead. I think I get your point. Go ahead.
You know what I'm trying to say? It's long-term issue. I think the long-term issues or the long-term problems that people are quoting is bad dressing room, which obviously, I'm sorry, a toxic dressing room doesn't last longer than a year if the player has left. Everyone kind of rebots up their idea within.
It could,
you know. Well, it could, but I mean, if the player's gone, I mean, who's leaving the? Toxic? You know what I'm trying to say? It
could be part of the problem that maybe Ronaldo is not looking for 1 year. Do you know what I mean? Maybe he's looking for minimum.
That may well be an issue.
We don't. Yeah, exactly. Maybe that's Tuchel's planning as well. If I sign this guy, am I signing him for a year? Am I signing him for 2 years? You know. So maybe the longevity of that is not feasible for Tuchel. But as a fan of this beautiful game, I cannot close my eyes and tell me Mr. Record goal scorer, Mr. Champions League, or Cristiano Ronaldo. You ask me, Ibrahim, do you want him in our club? I say no, because he doesn't fit who. He's better than all of our strikers put together. What has our strikers done that Ronaldo? Well, you know what I mean? I can't say no.
Just quickly, IBZ, let me end this poll. I want to ask those in the chat again what they think about Ronaldo coming to Chelsea. And quickly, I'm seeing a DJ Saab. I was thinking if I don't see him while we're talking about Ronaldo, then I have to try and reach out to him and ask him if he's doing well. But I'll come back to you in a bit. At the chat, the question asked, do you think Darwin Nunez was a good again or panic buy for? I think the question doesn't make sense. I think I made a mistake there. I'd have to redo the poll. So sorry, and I'm glad I haven't seen what's his name, Jos Viola come at me and saying this poll doesn't make sense. She hasn't done that. Maybe she has. I don't know. But go ahead, IBZ.
Yeah. So like, just generally, like I can't see the. I understand the dressing room, the showmanship around Ronaldo, but that just comes with the territory of. I mean, I'm sorry, man. If you have something big, you got something big, innit? And it would be the question to us is, do we want something big to come in, knowing what it's got? Are we ready for that? Maybe not. Maybe Thomas Tuchel's not. Maybe Thomas Tuchel has a problem with managing egos. Maybe he has PTSD from managing in PSG and he doesn't want that again. We never know. But as me as a fan, like, see at the bridge, are you mad? Are you crazy?
Did you call Declan before you came onto the show? Did you guys talk?
Come on, coach. You know everyone wants to do it. You know you want to do it. You know you want to jump and do it.
You know what? Come on. It will move you. It's like The Rock to what Rock was to wrestling, or Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's so electrifying. Like, it's Cristiano Ronaldo, mate. I don't understand how we could say no, but if the gaffer says no, then I have to trust his opinions, his judgment on that, and move forward. But obviously, as a fan, as a consumer of this beautiful game, I would love to see it. What? I'm sure a lot of people. And like, look at our games though. Look at the games we've played, even though it's pre-season and that. Are you not seeing that we're lacking something up front? Like, you know, like, are we okay with it?
Here's my argument for that, IBC. But before I do, I want to thank people for 122 likes. That's not easy. We're shooting for 300 likes, and I know we can get there. So if you haven't, please take a second to like the video. And it's for free. It doesn't, again, cost anything. If anybody asks you to pay, tell them DJ Sav, Chelsea the Kingslayer, and also, again, Victor Araya, Jos Viola, all the mods that they had already paid for you. IBC, you're still talking. Go ahead, brother, so that I can catch up with the chat and we can move on to the next topic.
Yeah, that's what I've got to say. I just want to say that, I will take him. Me personally, I will take him. I will welcome him, even if it's for a year, 2 years, and he finishes his career, and goes back to Lisbon after Chelsea. I'll take him, but I understand if the boss says no, I'm with it. At this point, I trust whatever the boss has to say, because I don't believe that the boss speaks. I think the boss wears his heart on his sleeve, innit? He doesn't. It's not like a social manager, well, we're just gonna have it in private, or no, he says it direct. So for a man to come out and represent and say it direct, I trust in what you got to say, bro. I ain't got the answers. You clearly do. So I hear what you got to say, TT. So I'm with him. If he doesn't want Ronaldo, I'm with him.
Okay. You and Declad. I'm gonna pull a true blue on you guys, but that's by the way. Again, if you're watching, we have 166 people watching, and we have 133 likes. Thank you. I'd be ungrateful not to say thank you for that. You guys are the reason why I have the energy to wake up every day 2:30 a.m. to prepare for the show. It's not easy, but I'm going to keep doing it. And soon we'll be launching a sister channel, and it's going to be brilliant, and you all will be part of it. So thank you. Please keep liking the video, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I say very few agents like Powerful Mendes for X take the new guy Boehly seriously. Probably see him as a naive rich Yankee trying to match with with the glamour clubs. I get it. Again, let me see anything else to read here. Ronaldo would not want to be a number 9, but would like to be a number 7. Again,
yeah, of course, but we need him to decurse that.
To break the curse. You called him the shaman, and I'm waiting for that tweet. If you have put it out already. Go ahead, did you say something?
He would like to be a number 7.
I don't think he would do that. I don't think
a number 7 is practically somebody who plays ahead of the DM.
Yeah, and I don't think the club will ask N'Golo Kante to relinquish that number.
CR7 is a big brand.
It's a brand. CR7
no, we can make CR a bigger brand, because if he breaks the record,
again, he will make the team. He will make the club a better brand. He will polish. I don't know if word polish or enhance. I don't know which is right. But again, brand isn't where I'm concerned about. And I know you and IBZ know too where I'm concerned about. But let me catch up with the chat quickly. Ronaldo would want the number 7 shirt, but Ronaldo wouldn't want the number 9 shirt, but would like to be a number 7. Again, the club can convince if because that brand, that's the CR7 brand, probably he would want to keep the number 7 shirt. But would the club tell N'Golo Kante to give it up for him? I don't know. That's an argument for another day. My back five for now would be Skriniar, Fofana. Again, we're talking about Cristiano Ronaldo right now. Chelsea all the way. I love you, bro, but you're looking for my trouble, and you know how we operate here. Chelsea set up Ronaldo with scores. Again, we all love Ronaldo, but we don't need him. Thank you. I have some people in the chat with me. If we get
don't
Ronaldo,
need him. So who do we need?
We want the Champions League again. Where do you stand, bro? It's just that I can't say your name. Well, you just say, well, we don't need him. And you just switch to we win the Champions League again. Where do you stand? You let me know. I love you. I wish I could say your name. But again, Mohamed Salisu.
Take a crack at it.
Sorry?
Take a crack.
Oh, no. Mohamed Salisu, he's talking about a player. Yep. I don't know too much about him, but we'll see. Preseason, again, I want non-injured players. I'm the same with you.
I just want to quickly say, I can remember when we were discussing alternatives to Lukaku, and we were discussing what striker we should bring in. And I advocated that we bring in, we may not even, it doesn't have to be a big name. We could bring in a young, hungry guy. And I advocated for a guy called Benjamin Sesko. There's for Rod Salzburg. I believe, obviously, we're arguing, he's not the Thomas Tuchel type and what have you, his height and what have you. I just said, bro, I love it. Right now, his name is being linked around doing it. And it's almost like, what? I can't even believe it. He scored against Liverpool yesterday as well, by the way. And I was like, oh my God, this guy is good. I just hope that if we ever do, just sign him. But that's just me personally. I really want Benjamin Sesko. I believe he will do absolutely sick. Him and Broja up front. Oh my days. Or rotation. Like, forget all these 25-year-olds. Let's go for 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds. Let's change the whole dynamics. Let's go. Get wonder kids. But yeah, that's just my personal wish. I don't think it will ever happen. But yeah, I'm dreaming.
Yep. Okay. Just quickly, I'm going to try to catch up with what we have in the chat here. Again, I must keep. I want to read something I saw. Okay. Again, Joy the boy. I haven't said hello to you today. I hope you're doing well. CR7 is a bad idea. He will cause trouble if things don't go his way, and people think he'd be great for income or money that would happen over a year. So no point getting him again. I'll see. I'm going to try. There's a comment here. I think TT wants to be in control in the dressing room. He doesn't like players with big egos. Again, let's not talk about the ego, actually. Look, Ronaldo has come to a stage in his career where he always liked to have a say. He would, let me just phrase it this way. I believe he would always want to have a say in the dressing room. Again, but publicly, from what we're seeing, the way he acts whenever he's on the bench, or when he's taking off, even when Portugal plays, you see, practically the Portuguese coach, if you want to talk about that. But that's, by the way, I'm going to try to catch up with what we have.
Sorry, one more spanner in the works. Do you maybe it didn't work out, for him at United because of the emotional attachment he has to United? It's not going well, and then him reacting more emotionally than he would have done at any other club. Maybe that's where, like, he probably thought, oh, United, I was here when it was cracking. What are you guys doing? There's more of an emotional attachment than if he was to come to Chelsea. You probably would have. Obviously, he has the clout because of what he's done in world football, but he won't really have the clout to dictate what's been going on at Chelsea or why things are not going the way it is. Because, you know, I'm sorry, Ronaldo, but we've been doing things before you were here. You know what I'm trying to say? So, you know, maybe that could be different. It might not be a thing of I'm dressing room dynamics. Maybe I'm probably thinking on that. So he was probably took it more as a leader there because obviously he's Ronaldo. He was at United as a kid, made him a man before he went to Madrid and all that. Maybe that's why. You know, I'm just thinking on that angle now.
Yeah. Again, before I continue catching up with the chat, again, I sent something to the panelists in the chat. Please, in the private chat, I'd like you guys to read it. But let's not say it out loud. Again, it says a big up, Kuchila, the panel, and everyone in the chat. Nice to see you here, DJ Sav. I know the fight you're coming for. I'd already talked about that. And Chelsea old boys, I love to see you here. He says, I don't think TT wants him, but he will bring goals and no pressing. No pressing is another aspect that will force TT to change his approach to the game, whether we like it or not. And then again, I appreciate you finding time to join us, Chelsea, the old boys. He is one of the minerals, a team from a friend of mine and a brother. He finds time to join us, and he told us yesterday how much they love Chelsea's perspective. You know we love the Minerals team too. Nice to have you here. Thank you very much. And Josh Viola here with an accusation. He says, so Kuchila, you two are on the Ronaldo bus. Nope. You can ask IBZ. You can ask Titox. You can also ask, what's his name? Ask Declared. Again, he would tell you that I'm not on that bus. He knows that quite too well.
He's coming around, though. He's getting to that bus stop.
Listen, all he needs to do, Ronaldo needs to do is do a header, take it, score a hat trick, and do a C, and we'll see. Coach, the backdrop will be Ronaldo or
yeah, that's what this brother is saying here. And I have a question regarding IBZ. TT must be a clown to reject Ronaldo for a short-term project. We don't know if that's actually the case. We're just basing an argument off of what we're seeing out there. There's no way to say that's in fact the case. Mitrovic, Claire says Mitrovic is the best number 9 in all of South London. If it's that good, we'll be looking at him right now. Ronaldo Chelsea beat CR7. No, we didn't. All good. Thank you, Joshua. Let me see. I'm looking for a response from DJ South. As a mentor, he would be good, but Gender needs a full season to bring in his generational talent up in levels and Broja to get experience. I think it makes sense there. You know what? If Tuchel wants CR7, so be it. But we're hearing he doesn't want him. So that's, by the way, again, it might want him, but may be scared of him in that he may not be able to manage him. That may well be the case. True still makes me feel sick. I'm not sure what they're talking about. I meant Havertz. I suspected as much, but wasn't too sure. Chelsea away kit had been leaked. White collar, I haven't seen it. I'd like to see it again. Felix still cares about those deadwoods in the dressing room. Come on, Boehly. Again, we all want Ronaldo. Again, Dean, there's somebody who asked the question. Who's that Niger brother speaking? Was asking about you, IBZ. I think I haven't seen the comment. Dean Ten Hag clearly stated CR7 wasn't for sale to CFC, and these rumors started by CR7 camp. We're not sure. Maybe because we've heard that Todd Boehly has had a meeting with his agent, so that's why maybe it keeps popping up. But probably we'll see what happens. Kachila, you know my take on Ronaldo. Would have him at Chelsea in a heartbeat. The guy is world class, guaranteed 20 goals. And I'm gonna ask you again. He scored 20 plus for Manchester United. Where did they end the season? You answered the question yourself. I just saw the complete sentence in the poll. Yep. Again, did I make a mistake there? You like to shut me in the public? Do you want Ronaldo at Chelsea? Oh, you're looking at the previous one. Okay, thank you very much. I'm glad you didn't see it when it was still on. We're talking as if we have a lot of options. Ronaldo can still score goals. Let's get him. Again, if the chance he comes, we will not have the same problem that United had with him. That is just a simple truth. But I'm going to skip to the very bottom. We have quite a lot to talk about. I'm going to try to be reaching out everybody one by one. But I will come back to the panel. I'm sure everybody here have talked about Ronaldo. Let me pick out the next comment I want us to talk about here. I want us to talk about Skriniar. Give me a second, people. Let me find that and see what the update was about. Actually, yep, this one right here. And I'm going to start with you, Declan. Again, you could argue this is not me being in denial because Chelsea fans are still in denial. Even Chelsea-aligned journalists, some of them, I call them Twitter journalists, they are actually still in denial because they were the one that pushed it to us. Or they were the one that pushed it to us as I can push the whole nonsense, the whole rumors to us. So they're still in denial in terms of Kunde. But to me, I'd say Skriniar would be a better option for us than Kunde because of his physicality, his ability on the ball, his ability to play in multiple positions. But that's, by the way, Ty, I don't know if you're back yet. And again, just quickly, Ty, you said you have some news. Go ahead with it. Then we'll come back with where I was right now.
Apparently, we have agreed personal terms with Fofana, but we have been rejected by Leicester City with our first offer of 50 million, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm. Okay, if that has happened, if we have agreed personal terms with Fofana, I think before agreeing personal terms with him, which means he wants to come to us. Now, the question is, are we going to be able to convince Leicester City to sell?
Like I said,
that is a difficult task because he has 5 years left on his contract. I think it is until 2027. Agreeing, which means he encouraged us. He encouraged us to come for him. You wanted to say something, Declan? Go ahead.
Yeah, if the stories are true about their financial issues, then maybe it's just a matter of a price. That's just, if that's all official, then that's just the opening bid, I guess, and we might get him for more the 60 mark, maybe. If they actually need that money. But if they're seeing him one for the future, then they're probably willing to let other players go before him. So I'm not sure. It could happen still.
Again, but we're hearing they need to sell a player like him to have enough money to bring in players, which means that even makes it that the fact is they're going to be asking for quite a lot. But I'm not sure we'd be willing to pay anything north of 60 for him. Your thoughts?
I mean, this is the true meaning of a panic buy, coach. If it gets that we
might can't win that argument. There's no dictionary we see anything saying, okay, this is the definition of panic buy.
If you look up the definition of a panic.
Panic is just part of the term we're talking about. We're talking about a term. We're not talking about the word panic alone. We're talking about the two-word sentence, panic buy.
No, but you've
Go ahead with
changed
what
it
you're
up.
talking about. Go ahead with what you're talking about. Let's leave that for
Anyway,
another day.
this is the true definition of a panic buy for
And
us.
he said that
It's
loud.
because there's only a month left. We still need a number of players, and we've gone through quite a few defenders, right? I said this before, that I feel like the players that we get in now, that we might end up paying overs for. So, which is not bad, because our first two transfers, I felt we got them at very good prices. Koulibaly and Sterling. I think they were good prices, even though they're on higher wages. But transfer fee was pretty good. But I think Fofana, we might have to pay overs if we really want him. If we've gone down a list and maybe running out of defenders that Tuchel wants, we might go all out on Fofana and might pay overs for him, and that might happen. But that's okay. I think that's the situation. I mean, people have to look at context. You know what I mean? If people judge him for his price, there's context that we pushed Leicester to get him. Just like Harry Maguire, he went for so much. He's been judged on that price, but Leicester didn't want to sell. But Man United had to give an offer that they almost couldn't refuse, and that's why he has an insane price tag. So Fofana we could pay over 60 for him, just to get him in, and then people are going to look at that and say, well, we paid this much for Koundé, and he's the same price as De Ligt. But the circumstances were a lot different, so we might end up paying more for him. And this goes for every other player that we probably go for after, but that's okay as long as we get players in.
Can I counter that?
Yeah, go ahead, counter it. Jamaican brother.
The thing is, I heard Declare saying the definition of panic. What is the definition of panic? The definition of panic.
I didn't get to finish that. Coach didn't let me explain.
No, we're not
you want me to explain it before you counter my panic?
Please, we have a lot to do. Please, Ty. Please.
Listen.
Okay, I'll say it then. I'll use it in my counter then. All right. So panic.
Yeah, please. Thank you very much, Ty. And Ty, thank you for bringing us that update. Agreeing personal term with him is huge, which means he encouraged us, which means he wants to come to us. And seeing a picture of him as a kid wearing a Chelsea kit makes a huge difference. But I don't want to see another, the K-word story again after all that. I hope we'll be able to pay up the fee. I hope we've looked at it and be sure we're going to pay for him and get him. Maybe Tuchel really wants him. And how old is he for right now?
21.
So he'll be long-term. He'll be long-term for us. He'll be with us for a while.
Can I do my counter, please? I want to do my counter before I forget my counter. Because I don't know if the claim has some
on the definition of panic buy?
No, my counter includes the definition. Because he's saying a panic buy is this and that. So I'm saying a panic.
No, but I never got to say my reason, so you can't counter what I didn't get to explain. So if you got a definition, if you got a different counter,
I want to see. You don't.
Let him counter it. Let him counter.
Alright, go ahead.
No, keep interrupting.
Let me counter. You know what my counter is, and you don't want me to explain it. The thing is, okay, so based on panic and everything, okay, panic means fear. So you have just a fear that you're going to miss out on something, or there's a fear that something may happen that you don't want to happen. Okay, so the next thing is that the situation with Fofana, the comparisons that I'm hearing about Maguire was for 80 million and things like that. Maguire wasn't injured. Maguire was not recovering from an injury. It's the same. It's more or less a similar situation with Chilwell. Yes, Chilwell was injured at that time. Fofana is recovering from that injury. He's similar to Chilwell right now because both of them are trying to find a way to get back match fitness and to be sharp again. Then the next thing is, I can't see us going for him for 60 or not 60 for 70 or 80 million without trying something and trying to use the fact that what guarantee can we have that this player that we're coming in for, who is recovering from a 6 months injury, is going to be the same.
Do you know what injury it was? Yeah.
He broke his foot.
He broke his leg.
Yeah. So I mean,
and it was
when someone breaks something, it's not like he did an ACL or anything like that, or
Okay.
Wait,
Ty, go ahead.
he was over 6 months. The point is that he was over 6 months.
Yeah.
So that in itself, it means that it's like the situation. That is why I don't want to say, I'm going to say the K word, was going for less. So because he got a surgery and everything. The point of the matter is that Fofana is recovering from an injury. The point is that we cannot be going for him for 80. We could use the fact that he's recovering from an injury. There's no certainty that he's the same player. That we could use the same method that we used for Chilwell because he was injured at that time, and they were quoting 80 million, and in the end they got him for 50 million. I'm not still going to get
that was the media. That was the media.
They were quoting and they were serious. It sounded like they weren't willing to sell, but there's no way to tell. Finish. Let's move on. Let's move on from that one.
Brendan Rodgers came and said it. It's not the media. Brendan Rodgers said it. He was asked about it.
No, he never said it because I remember arguing on streams because players use the same thing they use with Rice at the moment, saying 80 mil. It was never official, never came out 80 mil. Rodgers is in no position to even say. There's no manager that I've ever heard say a price too. So that sounds ridiculous wherever you read it from. But
okay, Ty,
it was reported.
Let him land because
you guys are so unfair.
No, but see, I think
you guys are so unfair, man. You guys are so
hold on, Ty. Let me. I think you've taken my words. I'm saying it's a possibility. I agree with you, right? That those prices can be a lot. What I'm saying is a possibility. I understand player's situation. He hasn't played, but he's a young player. You are playing for potential. Leicester City, I'm pretty sure, want to hang on to him as well. They'd rather probably sell the other defenders before him as well, right? Unless they feel like there's a doubt there, right? He's got a long contract as well. He can't even push for a move. But they are in a financial hardship, like doing a hard. And if they need to sell him and they can't sell any other player, then they might sell him. But our offer might have to be enticing.
This is what I'm trying to counter. The fact of the matter is,
but I think what I was going to get at, Ty, there's not long left. They know we need a defender, right? There's not that many names left on that list. Who do you go after now? Who are we going to bid for now?
Can I please counter?
Let him land so we can move on.
Yeah, because that could have been done a long time ago. The point is that you're saying that because their defenders are not really attractive compared to Fofana. What they've had to do over the years, because this is not the first time they've had FFP issues where they had to sell one of it. They're trying to sell the other players, not only defenders. They're trying to sell Tielemans, Maddison, and they obviously try to sell Schmeichel, but they can't let that go through until they find a replacement. So the point I was making, and I even said this on the evening show as well, and Chilwell was probably quoting it as well and pushing that as well as an idea, is that Fofana is of a certain price because of the contract that he has, and they're trying to buy him out of the club. At the same time, they have to sell in order to buy. Tielemans, there's uncertainty if they're going to be able to sell him. Maddison, he's been linked with other clubs. Schmeichel, they're looking to sell him, and these things are the fact that they're trying to sell the best players, not the players that are all you're not going to be mentioned. When people think of Leicester City, they think of Tielemans' goal. Fofana, who they signed for, who has great potential. Schmeichel, who's been with them since they won the Premier League. He was there. He was a part of the squad. Vardy as well, but Vardy isn't going anywhere because no one really wants him. The thing is, Fofana is a player that they would possibly look to sell as well as Schmeichel because he is the most attractive of their squad, as well as Maddison and Tielemans. So that is why I'm saying that because he's recovering from an injury, Brandon, and the fact is, Leicester City don't have the pulling factor to say that, no. You have to do this. They have to negotiate because I don't think they're going to ask for exactly 70. I think we could make a compromise with them and get closer. And plus, we could simply just add in, and I keep saying this, the best left centre back, the best left back, who's classy. Even Sterling didn't know what position he plays. That's how good he is. Sterling didn't know what position he played. You had to ask him. The excellent Malang Sarr. And you know what? They want a backup goalkeeper. They want a goalkeeper to replace Kasper Schmeichel. Give them Kepa. Just give them Kepa because he's going to be fantastic for them. The other goalkeeper is injured. You give them Kepa and you also offer them the best left centre back and left back in Malang Sarr. He's fantastic, and plus he's French. He's French too, so they're getting a straight swap in terms of nationality. So it'll be fantastic.
Yeah, good question here. Although we've gone past that topic.
Ty went from countering to actually selling the deal.
Oh, this is a brilliant show so far. Again, it says, nice work, Coachella and panel. Thank you for the compliment. I know the panel appreciates that. And everyone in the chat, signing Ronaldo is one thing about would he fit into Tuchel's system. And if he comes to the team, would he not expect the team to be built around him? Another question for another day. And I don't want to go into that argument, but I would say that's a good comment. By the way, again, I'm going to try and scroll to the very bottom. Ronaldo could be a good short-term solution. Let's move beyond short-term solution. And Sheila says, we have a better team last season than United. We need a goal scorer, and we don't create enough for the striker. But Ronaldo will demand a better service from our midfielders. Again, let me not talk about that because we'll be going round and round and round. And I want to say thank you, DJ, for that update. Ty also talked about it. Also, thank you for the update. Coachella, Ronaldo will be playing with better players. I can see Sterling and Ronaldo combining well and goals being scored. But you have RJ crossing those balls in the box. Again, with Mason Mount and Kai, those are great points. And I know those things will most definitely happen. But I'm looking beyond this point you just made. Again, I hope you understand my point. I want to say thank you for 152 people watching and for 148 likes. Let's keep liking the video, guys. Thank you so much for the love you've shown at the channel. The question in the post asks, do you want Ronaldo at Chelsea? 63% says yes, he will bring goals. 37% says no, he will bring problems too. I'm going to end that poll now. And I want to say, please, if you haven't, please take a second to like the video and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you. Again, let's see if we can get to 200 likes in 20 minutes. I know we can. If you haven't liked the video, please, thank you for all the support you've shown the channel. So right now, let's go back to the case of this guy here, Skriniar, so to speak. We're hearing, I want to show that updates there. Is it this one? No, not that one. Probably this one here. We're seeing that Chelsea have been put on alert after PSG and Inter talks over Milan. Skriniar hits a snag and hits a 58.7 million valuation. I think they've signed. Sorry?
Go and get him.
But yeah, because it's cheap. It's cheap. And again, and I like him better. Honestly, this is not me being in denial. I prefer Skriniar over Koundé. This is not because we've missed out on Koundé. He's more aggressive. That's me. Honestly, I'm not being in denial. I know at one point I joined the denial boss.
You should be on timeout. You should be on timeout. You just said a K word. That's not nice.
Oh, yeah. Again, I want to say something quickly to those in the chat. Please be respectful to each other. Again, don't fight. Lower the temperature. Express yourself. Express your opinion without coming across as you're insulting the other person. Yes, we're allowed to express ourselves, but keep it civil. Respect each other. You are entitled to your opinion. It's a free world. But please do not, present your argument or your comment the way it will be insulting to the other person. Please don't do that. Please. Again, I beg of you, it's important that we all enjoy this without anybody feeling insulted. So I want to start with you, Declan, on this one. Your thoughts. Again, look at the comment on the screen and you'll know how good of a player the Skriniar is. I've done my research. I've started to like him even more. And honestly, I'm not joking. I prefer him over, K-Boy. Go ahead, Declan.
Over who?
K-Boy.
Yeah, I think that you can almost say, and I think the fan base would be split on these two players. If we can pull off Skriniar, then it really makes up for K-Boy, for missing out on K-Boy.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so So it would make up for that loss. He is a really good defender as well, and I think if they both were available, you'd see the fan base was pretty split. So, yeah, I hope we go in for him. But this is that same thing I've been talking about. It's a bit of a merry-go-round at the moment. Every day they just pull it out. It's his turn. Maybe there's nothing in it. If the Fofana reports are true, then I'm pretty sure we probably were in for Skriniar already. We probably had to be. We have to be in the mix. But yeah, we'll see who comes out first. I hope we do get him though. He's a good defender.
Yeah. I hope so. I hope so, because again, he can play on the left in the back three, on the right in the back three. Because I was able to learn about that. When Bastoni got injured, he held the ground in the space for him very, very well for while he was still out, and he did quite well. Again, I think he will fit into the Premier League perfectly, and we should go for him. What I was hearing before was that again, it was going to be a difficult deal to get over the line, but now it's easier since this hits a snag, and probably they may well be willing to sell to us rather than sell to PSG, because you could argue we have a good relationship with them. We did them a favor. They wanted the Lukaku, and we let them get him. They wanted the L boy, and we let them.
Did we do them a favor, or did they do us a favor?
No, we did them a favor, actually. They needed him, really. They wanted him. It wasn't like we did them a favor. We did him and them and Lukaku a favor. That's how I see it. I guess you have every right to see it the other way around. But that's, by the way, again, I want to come to you, IBZ. You haven't spoken for a while. Your thoughts on this opportunity to get Skriniar? I'd say let's go for him just like Ty. Snap him up one time and get it done.
Yeah. We haven't got... We ain't got the time to prioritize, weigh up, or identify. Get him now. Get him. He's on the list. Boom. We shouldn't waste no time. But like you guys were mentioning Fofana, like I said yesterday, I don't think we got the minerals to get this deal over the line in time. Like what we saying, but 80 mil. Like how's Todd gonna negotiate with the Thai owner? How are they gonna sit down and where they're gonna have dinner in Thailand, in Bangkok? How are they gonna?
I'm pretty sure he loves his pad thai, mate.
You know what I mean? How
you don't worry about Boehly.
What I believe is that I believe that if deals are not offered to Chelsea at this present time, it will be hard for them to go and get it done. At this, I just believe we ain't got the minerals, coach. I believe it was easier with Sterling and Koulibaly because it was more or less a given, it was easier for Sterling, maybe say, because it was within the country. Didn't really need to make any problems with work permit, personal issues. Made sense for him. Koulibaly, obviously, you could argue that obviously he was offered or went in for a decent price, but I don't think this Skriniar looks easier than obviously Fofana. Because obviously, if the reports are to be true that Inter and talks and PSG have broken down, yeah, we should go for him. Obviously, they're looking to sell them. We'll match the evaluation or better it. So yeah, it looks better. But with Fofana, I don't see it. But albeit, we'll see what happens. I want him. Yeah, bring him. Get it done.
Do you remember when they were saying that he wasn't for sale? Early on when it was all talked about before Lukaku left.
That may well have been possibly because they believe they can get him to put pen to paper to extend his stay at the club. But go ahead.
Yeah, that's possibly true. I was just saying that. Remember, we were linked to every Inter Milan defender, and they were saying that no one was going to leave and all that. Skriniar, no Bastoni enough. If they're open to Skriniar, then why aren't they open to Bastoni as well? Do you know what I mean?
I don't think that Bastoni is I think Bastoni is more for their future. I mean, he's well younger than 23.
More said he doesn't want to
leave.
That's the thing.
You said what, Ty? What he said? What?
He came out and said he does not want to leave. He says he's happy at Inter Milan and he doesn't want to leave.
Yeah, he said that.
That's
and again, if you're watching one, sorry, Ty, go ahead. Sorry, bro. Apologies.
No, I'm done. I'm done. You could go. I was just adding that.
Again, I want to say thank you. Thank you so much for 158 likes. That means we need 42 more to get to 200 likes. We're closing in to our target for today, which is 300 likes. Let's see if we can break that record today. Please help us do that. Again, I cannot thank you guys enough for all your support. Please keep liking the video and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Again, one thing I want to say is this. It says, this is where my attention is, a 58.7 million valuation. Is this PSG's valuation or is this Inter Milan's valuation? The sentence overall, it's not clear who values him at that amount. It's not clear here. If this is Inter's valuation of the player, I'd say it's not, but it doesn't look like this is Inter's because they rejected PSG's initial bid. Maybe they came in with another bid that they're not willing to sell him. This is a player we shouldn't waste time on. Maybe we'd still get him. We don't know. That is cheap. Honestly, that is cheap for how good he is. But Ty, before I come to you, I wanted to get from you your thoughts whether you prefer him to because he plays on the right hand side too. If we're getting him, then it would not make sense to still be looking at Fofana, who just returned from injury, and there's no guarantee he will be able to replicate the form he showed before he got injured. But quickly, let me see if there's anything I have to read in the chat. I want to say thank you to Red Stars FC for, showing us a name we can pronounce. That's no disrespect with whatever, what's it called? Not calligraphy, the language your name was written in. It just that I couldn't read it. And again, that's not me disrespecting that language in particular. It was just that I couldn't read it. And whenever I'm reading your comment, I don't call your name. And I like calling people's name when I do read their comments. So thank you again, Red Star. Even tomorrow you can change it. I will now recognize it is Red Star. Hopefully I won't forget FC. I said 85 million for Fofana is a joke. Again, there's no chance we pay that much money. We heard that when we showed our interest in Ben Chilwell. We heard some price that we're calling, but we ended up getting him for cheap. But I agree on Mitrovic, a striker quality for the 3 goals last year. Champions of the English Championship, you will never sign him. And again, you're a Chelsea fan. I think you may well have, in terms of the sports team you're supporting, I think you have identity crisis, Phantom. I have to tell you that. Yeah, but that's, by the way, Ty, your thoughts on the Skriniar story, please.
I have to counter what you just said, what Declared said, and what Mr. IBC said.
Mm-hmm. I think we should start calling you counter-attack.
Yeah,
I'm going to be counter-attack Ty. Counter-Ty.
Yeah, go ahead. Counter-Ty.
This is what I'm going to say this now. Do not forget, Fofana is right-footed, yes. But he can also play on the left. He can also play in the center. And he would...
So he's equally as versatile as Skriniar.
Yes. So that means that even... And that's what I'm saying. He is way more valuable to the team compared to Kunde, or I said the K-word. Forgive me. K-word.
Yeah, we're going to time you out.
The K-word would have valued, or what he would have bring to the team. He can only play on the right, so that means that if push comes to shove and we need somebody on the left, he could not be him because he can only play on the right or as a right back. Now, for the likes of Skriniar, that price is good. If that's the price that Inter value him by, then that's a good price. It's just around the price that we were offering for the K-word and
K-boy.
Yeah, I'm calling him K-word. I'm not calling him no boy. He's not a boy. He's a big man. Big man. So in that sense, it's a good price. But at the same time, Fofana can play in the center, can play on the left, and can play on the right. So in that sense, even if we have it, we can have him. Because I don't think that what people believe that Koulibaly is going to be starting most games is true because he's 31. Yeah, he could play a role, but I don't really think we're going to be playing every game. And you need squad depth because Although, does Fofana play for the French international team, or is he still playing for the 20?
I don't know if he's had a call-up yet. If he's,
Okay,
I don't know.
Because I
I'm
know
not
he was
sure.
playing for the under 21, because he just turned 21, so maybe not.
No, but his age doesn't mean that he cannot play for the
Yeah,
senior team. But go ahead with what you're saying.
But what France normally do is that they stick to the thing. They may bring some younger ones, but he was playing for the under 21. Anyways, in that sense, we need as much versatility. We need as much personnel in that defense, especially because it's a World Cup year. Especially the fact that Senegal made it to the World Cup. Koulibaly is their captain. He's going to be key to their team. And depending on what happens for these defenders, because we know that these defenders can be affected by a lot of things. If Senegal are eliminated, for example, very soon, it's going to take time for Mendy himself to really, accept it. And then probably days after that, he's fine. He's back up, smiling, laughing, back in training. Silva plays for Brazil still. I think this is his final World Cup. He's going to need time as well, because I think, and this is just my thinking.
Yeah, just 1 second. Please, if you're typing, I think the audience can hear the keyboard sound. And again, it's not pleasant. But again, it would be better if you were muted. Go ahead, Ty.
And then the thing is, this is my opinion. I think Brazil can make it far in the World Cup. So I think that it's important to have a defender who can play in the center. I did not mean to rhyme. The thing is, for me, because Fofana has played in a system where you play a three at the back, and he plays in the center, he plays on the left, and he plays on the right, seamlessly. I think that makes him have an advantage over us probably going for a Garvidol or a Vardiol, who right now there's uncertainty if he's up for grabs willingly. Fofana.
Wait, did you say Fofana play for Brazil? Or did I misunderstood?
No, I said Silva.
He talked about that's Silva.
Yeah, Silva.
Hey Ty, could you do me a massive favor? And I'm waiting for this counter. I'm really losing the point.
Well, I'm getting there. When you counter, you have to work your way. You have to work the way for it.
Oh God, this is
You're losing
panel.
me.
I love it. Go ahead.
I'm waiting for this counter. Come
All
on.
right, yes, okay. Here's the counter. So because of the fact that he's saying that because of the fact that declared, I'm going to start with declared first because I said that.
Yeah, please,
Declared,
me.
Because declared is saying that that Skriniar is this player. I think yeah, he's a good player, and I think it's the valuation is good for him. But I do think that you cannot turn your eyes off a player who has played in the Premier League, who was unfortunate to pick up an injury in pre-season, and now he came back because he did play last season. He played against us and he did quite well because I think he bullied Lukaku. I remember him bullying Lukaku. He made a tackle and Lukaku flopped his line. I mean, any defender can do that to Lukaku, so I can't blame them. But he did quite well in that game against us. He always does good against us. So I guess in that sense, he's a player that you cannot turn your eyes off. So especially with what IDZ was saying, about he's not sure if it's possible. Of course, it's possible. This is the world of football. Anything is possible. You can be winning 2-0 against Wolves, and then the final minute the game ends 2-2. So I mean, come on, man. And the fact that they put a price on him, it's clear that he's for sale.
They've said he is not for sale in capital letters. Wesley Fofana is not for sale.
No,
Says Leicester and
said that. Is there a statement from Leicester City saying that despite our FFP concerns, Wesley Fofana, among other players, is not for sale. Please turn your eyes off this player. You cannot get him. Yours respectfully, Leicester City Media Group. I'm pretty sure you haven't seen that.
But they won't need to do. Are every single team going to do that for you to know that they're not playing for sale? No, every team.
No, he's for sale, man. He's for sale. Everybody's for sale.
The game's the game, innit? But you just
everybody's for sale.
I know what you're saying.
It's not FIFA. It's not FIFA where you can knock down somebody.
Let's let Ty land.
Let me land. Let me feed the multitude. The thing is, my point is that Because every player at a club is for sale. Every player is up for sale. They could be on a 10-year contract. They're still for sale. Because football is a selling business as well. It includes you selling players, and this is not FIFA where you can lock up players to say that you can't sell them. It's not FIFA. This is real life. So you can buy any player. It's just about if the price is realistic. Because every club has a price. Every player has a price. Everybody has a price tag. So in that sense, he is for sale. So even if they say it's not for sale, he is for sale. Because every club has a price. And their price, it can't be unreasonable. Because they need to sell in order to buy, to balance the book off, so they won't be in issues with FFP. So that is why I am saying that he is for sale. And we can get a bargain for him as well, because the sole reason that he's coming back from an injury, and the fact that he had a little injuries in the injury scare in preseason as well, we can use that as an advantage to say we can find a compromise with you. We will not give you 80, but we'll give you the Malang Sarr and Mr. Kepa Arrizabalaga, who will give you what you want. He will make top-notch saves. He will clear the line. He's good on the board. He's a good super keeper.
So who's going to pay their wages? Who's going to pay Malang Sarr's wages and Kepa's wages?
Oh, Malang Sarr's wages, don't worry, man. We can just he's not worth anything less than 82,000, man. Come on.
So he's on big money. So
go ahead, Ty, with your counter so we can move on to something else. IBC, if you don't mind, let him finish so we can move on.
No problem. You better counter coach as well.
All right. Okay. So let me end it off. So basically, at in conclusion, this is a letter. In conclusion, I believe that Fofana is plausible. We can get him, and we can also get Skriniar. It's not impossible because, like I said, both players are versatile. You can play him on the left. You can play him on the right. And that is why I love about us having Koulibaly, because he is right-footed, but he can play on the left. You can also play on the right, and you can probably try your luck in the center. So we need versatile players. And plus, like I said, it's a World Cup year. You need players. Injuries can happen. And Silva is going to be playing with Brazil, so anything can happen. And the same can happen with Fofana if he gets called up for France as well. So you need as much players as possible. And because we underestimated the fact that we play a back three, we already had 5 centre-backs, and you can't have 5 centre-backs in a 3 at the back system where you have, or formation where you have to play 3 centre-backs, because you need to be able to at least rest all those 3 and not have to overplay one because you only have 5 and it's an odd number. So that's what I have to say. So that is my counter.
What was the counter?
I understood
that they're both versatile players. Was that the counter? Hey, Coach, can you make Ty go first now so he has nothing to counter?
No,
Ty, you're going to go first now.
I understood everything. Maybe you didn't see it. Leave Ty alone. Again, Ty says Ty is a Ty.
I think we're all in agreement. I didn't see a counter. I think everyone agreed with Ty.
No, I say the counter to mine, but I'm not just gonna go into that.
No, I see what he's saying. I see what he's saying in terms of every team can be every player has a price they can sell, but
did we not say
in our situation?
Do you guys not believe that too?
What?
Not believe what?
Everything you said was right. They're both versatile players. They're both up for sale. I don't see what we disagreed on.
No,
did anyone disagree with what Ty said?
I think you have to pay attention to the details of what Ty presented. Yeah, but again, I think go ahead. If you're saying something, IBZ, we should move on from that. Declare.
But I don't believe
I'm gonna true blue you now. Please stop that. Let me see what else we have here now to talk about. Again, I'm hearing again, Denzel Dumfries. I'm not sure where we're at with that one. Again, anybody on the panel has any updates on that one?
On who?
Denzel Dumfries. I haven't heard anything recently. Any update? It's just that again, it says that Chelsea have turned. This is the same story. The same thing we heard again 3 days ago. It's just coming back. It says Chelsea have turned their attention to Inter Milan defender Denzel Dumfries and could also be offered the chance to sign Benjamin Pavard from. How many defenders are we going to sign again? It just doesn't make sense. I think it's everywhere. But go ahead, anybody on the panel, if you have any updates on him, please let us know.
No updates. There's nothing. No updates.
Yeah, Ty, do you have any updates on that one for us?
Denzel Dumfries is a player that is for sale. That's all I can say.
Okay, but you're not sure about seriousness to get him.
No, I think we're serious. We're always serious about every player. Serious about every player, man, because every player is for sale. So because every player is for sale, you have to.
Yeah, that's the truth. We've been linked to every player on planet Earth. That's just the truth. Again, I was going to read something from the captain, and the captain of Chelsea's perspective is Liam Lane. He's been cool-headed every time. Again, there was time I was thinking he was going to start fighting with the Clad, but the way he handled the argument, he always presents his counter-argument in a very sensible and civilized way that you would understand that he's not trying to insult you. That was brilliant, and I think the Clad also sensed it. So there was, exchanging arguments, responses in a very civilized way, and that's the way it should be. This is come on, guys. We have enough people trying to keep us down besides arguing amongst ourselves. And that's why, again, before time I've started calling him the captain of Chelsea perspective. And believe me, if he says you're out, because I trust him. He's so mature. I trust his judgment and everything. But that's, by the way, we need a Skriniar. Again, that's Deals, CFC. Deals, it looks like he's at work today. Deals, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Adam Patridge, have I seen you today? I haven't. He said highlights. Do you think Chelsea get who? Okay, it looks like this. Adam was asleep when he was typing there. He didn't finish that one. Again, that's, by the way, Coach Skriniar and Fofana. We can get them both. Again, it says here it's Spanish Bakayoko. Okay, that picture looks familiar. Oh, okay. I took. I'm dead.
Don't have much feeling, Coach. Relax.
I took Blue Blood as a reference for Fofana with his baseball bat comment. No, I'm not Blue Blood. Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm dead. Hi lads, what's going on at Chelsea? Do you think?
All right, somebody take over. Coach is dying.
Give him a counter, Ty. Give him a counter to what he's saying.
Counter the laugh.
The reason I'm laughing is like it looks people are tired already. I'm trying to wrap my head around what I'm seeing. And then I thought this brother, Adam didn't finish the other sentence. And now he just types another one and my brain wants to shut me down one time. I know it's not intentional because sometimes you could be tired. Sometimes you just at the point of finishing something and your smart device thinks they're smarter than you, helps it finish it. I'm on the verge of crying here for what's happening to me from everything I'm seeing on the screen. But that's, by the way, God.
Somebody take over for him because he looks like he's gonna die.
Stop! Oh my! Again, who was talking before I started reading the chat?
Your laugh is contagious, so I beg.
Just stop, bro. Again, the time you were talking about Dumfries, right?
Yes, I was saying that Dumfries is for sale, and because they need money as well, we can get him, and he's open to leaving as well because his circumstances has not been the most ideal. So he's open to leaving, and Skriniar is also possible. So we could do a double deal. But people look at that. Oh, what happens to Reece James? Is Reece James going to play? We need competition for Reece James. We need somebody to push Reece James to the next level. And I mean, Reece James does not look like somebody who will complain if he's sitting on the bench and has to fight. Because you need fighters. You need people that will fight for the badge. And he's a Chelsea fan and he's a Chelsea player. But that does not mean that he's obliged to start. He needs competition, and although he's done wonders for us, he needs somebody to push him because we may lose Aspie, and it's looking like we will. So we need somebody to push him, and somebody who's actually a right wing back, and not somebody we're trying to force as a right wing back in Aspie.
How much do you pay for that position, though?
I would possibly pay 40 million, or probably I would probably throw in what's his name, Bakayoko in the deal.
But do you think Bakayoko and 40 million for?
And do they want him?
I mean, for what you just described is to push Reece James.
No, Ty, he was awful this past season.
He wasn't awful. You can't be awful if you barely played.
That's
why you barely play.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
because he was awful. You get the argument, Ty. But that's, by the way, again, Adam Patridge, he was asking, you think Chelsea wants a Fofana lad? It's something like we want him because we're hearing we've already agreed personal terms with him. It remains to be seen whether or not Leicester City will be willing to sell him. Again, Ken Charlton said, Red Star Pal is where that's about time to Newcastle. I'm not sure. Again, Pastor Daniel Anton says, Malang Sarr never puts a foot wrong. The only problem Chelsea have is a striker in the caliber of Ronaldo. He's good for business and the image of the club. He's a winner. He scores goals. I don't want to go into the argument of Malang Sarr. Do I think there's a good player in Malang Sarr? Yes. Do I think he's put a foot wrong? In fact, he's put 3 foot wrong. He has to, but he's put 3 foot wrong. But do I think it was his fault? No. That's where we differ in that argument. All I know, if you bring a credible counter argument, some people think it's an attack. That's the truth, and that's not okay because they cannot defend their initial argument. More emotions than intelligence. That's actually the truth. Yes. Present your counter argument, just present it in a way that it doesn't come across as insulting to the other person, and no name calling, please. But I get your argument. That's a good comment right there. And Sheila says Fofana is a solid defender before his injury. At the moment, he's just worth 60 million. How did you evaluate him to come to that conclusion that he's worth 60 million? We cannot get Skriniar from Inter for less and much more, proven. But we need a CDM, a SAP for cover as we lack a destroyer. I guess I agree with you, Timo. Okay, he's typing it one by one still. Papin says, will be difficult to pull off, but I personally would take Fofana over Skriniar. We need to invest in our defense. No use having a combined Koulibaly and Skriniar, for 3-4 seasons. That's a good argument. Says anyone in the chat, anyone in chat, is time going to Newcastle? Okay. Hey, Suleiman, blue morning to you too. I'm going to scroll to the very bottom, and which means I'm going to skip quite a few comments. Or maybe let me just get people talking, and I'll keep highlighting the comment. And if I see anything that's worth addressing, we will do so. We were actually supposed to reconstruct the Chelsea defense. I'm going to ask the chat if we should still do that, because again, we're reaching at the time where we end the show. Declan, have you talked about Dumfries? I don't know if you have.
Yeah, I don't really have to be honest.
Okay, go ahead.
What am I going to say? He's just, it's his, they picked him out of the hat today. It's his turn to make the news again.
Yeah, and again, it doesn't, there's no need, it's just the same thing they've talked about before. So,
can I counter tie? Can I do a counter tie? I want to do a counter tie session.
Yeah. I is looking forward to it, so you go ahead.
Yeah. So I mean, when it comes to our budget and the different areas that we need to throw money, I mean, spending that amount of money on someone that's just going to give Reece James a backup, which we
no backup here. Backup is
that's wrong. No competition.
I think in terms of competition, we need more. There's more dire need than just competition. I think it's too much money for someone that's going to play behind Reece James. I think that if you're going to,
how about seeing it this way?
Let me finish. If you're going to do it,
how much is Reece James worth? How much
let him make his point, side. Let him make his
point.
No.
If you're going to spend that type of money, it has to be someone that can play multiple positions. So if he can do the wing back, if he play one of the centre back roles, or if he can play one of the attacking roles, he has to be more than one for that type of money that you're going to spend on Dumfries. Or you can find a younger person, a younger option who's also going to develop, and a much cheaper one, something maybe for a longer term. That amount of money, that's not that far off what we're offering starters for defender roles, and there's much more dire need in position. So, I mean, we talked about that money could go to De Jong, that money could go to attacker, that money could go for another defender. So I think it'd be not smart with resources for that amount of money. Is that a good counter, Ty?
Okay, and here's what I'm going to counter you.
You can't counter the counter. We'll be here all day.
No, if it's football, it happens. But I think we just be going back and forth with this argument.
So the counter is that we can go for somebody cheaper and who can also play on the left, and we sort out our left wing back situation. And he's a Danish footballer. I think his name is Joachim Mæhle. Just Viola will butcher me if I get it wrong. So I think she'll put the pronunciation. So he's 24. So maybe you're right. The counter is probably me agreeing with you this time, though.
All right, let's see what we have here. I think I don't know if I'll be able to catch up with the chat and come back with the panel quickly. We'll probably postpone it again. I'll ask the chat and we will do what they want. Let me see the poll, what the poll says here. The question is Fofana or Skriniar. Fofana, 45%, Skriniar, 55%. Again, I wish I added get them both. I have that on Twitter. And again, it has 73 votes already, and surprisingly, some people wants the club to get them both. Again, thank you for 174 likes. We still have 140 people watching, so which means we need 26 more likes to get to 200. We're closing in on our target, which is 300 likes. So I'm going to add this poll to ask those in the chat whether they'd like us, to do, reconstruct the defense, and if they want, we will do that. Again, Ty, you were saying something. Quickly, Kimso here says both clubs, Inter and Leicester, have financial troubles, but a Skriniar could be more possible because he has 1 year left on his contract. And again, these days, even if the player has 0 year left on their contract, clubs want more money. But go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, I mean, all joke and fun aside, as much as it pains me, the fact of the matter is, and by the way, I've seen what you've done, Coachella. You don't have Skriniar in the Chelsea shirt, but you have everybody else in the Chelsea shirt. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. There's no Skriniar here.
You're trying to accuse me. The club did that too with Rodrigo, the panic bus driver. That again, that whenever I don't have a player on the Chelsea shirt, he comes. But I had Skriniar on the Chelsea shirt 2 days ago. But go ahead.
Yeah, but you don't have him now because I see your motives, man. I see your motives. But anyways, all jokes and fun aside, the best option right now is Skriniar for the reason that the comment previously said. 1 year left on the contract. There's more likelihood that the club will be looking to sell him because extension talks are stalling, so they're clearly going to try to get as much out of him. And for the reason that was also said in that comment, both Leicester and Inter have a financial issue. So they will want money. And I don't think that they'll say no. If we negotiate something for the right price, and if the price is right, we can get Skriniar. And he has the experience, he's done well, and we're gifting him an opportunity to be playing games and not only being utilized when the starter, the more preferred option, is not available due to injury. So I would say Skriniar, but I just do not want to say no to a player who I saw who's not like a Jonathan Klaus who says that he he grew up watching Chelsea when he also was wearing a Man United shirt, Arsenal shirt, Man City shirt, and the list goes on. So I would go for Mr. Fofana, who is blue at heart, because he wears blue at Leicester, so he's a blue at heart. And also you can say that for Skriniar, but I mean, it's the blue is closer in terms of Leicester to Chelsea. So I'm going to go with Skriniar for the more feasible one. But I more sentimental wise, which I think I have the right to be sentimental, I would love to see both of them, because I think due to the fact that Fofana is versatile in terms of the back three, it will be key. But also you can say the same for Skriniar. So I think either way, if we get only one, I'll be happy, because one has more experience, one has leadership skill, and the other one also has leadership skill. So it benefits us either way. So I will take Skriniar if it comes down to only one, but it'll be unfortunate if we cannot get Fofana. But hey, Silva could only stay for 1 more year, so we could probably go for him next season, and we'll probably get the opportunity to see how he does in the Premier League recovering from injury. So it could benefit us in the long run.
Yeah, again, quickly, I'm going to say big up to one of the biggest Chelsea fans I've ever known, Mikhail. He said, big up to you too, brother. Respect to you. You know, again, and brother, I appreciate you finding time to join us. I know how busy you are and how busy you can be, but whenever I see you, it makes me smile. Thank you for finding time to join us here. We still have 142 people watching, and we have 178 likes. There's 22 more to get to 200. It doesn't look like we'll be able to get to our target today, but I appreciate whatever. Again, I cannot thank you enough for getting to 178, but let's try and get it to at least 200. Mikhail, long time, bro. How are you? Says DJ to him. Yeah, Chelsea looking to beat 96 million for Dumfries and Skriniar. 2 of them. That's a good buy. And can you give us your source, Chelsea, all the way? I appreciate that. Leicester has to say it's not for sale to keep the price high. It's as simple as that. Club saying that player is not for sale doesn't mean they don't want to sell him. Just stop, Viola. I'm not happy about our problem. Oh God, I hope my chest. Okay, just keep praying. Keep praying to whatever higher power you believe in, or maybe that will make you feel better. There is some background noise or sound. I don't think it's my area because I'm not charging my phone right now. They're all out. I don't think it's coming from me. Usually the background noise comes whenever I'm charging the wireless connection. Yeah.
That was on me. The beeping sound that was in the background at that time. There's a fire right beside my house. So,
sorry to hear that.
Yeah. So
everybody okay though?
No, people are crying. People lost their house. So.
Oh, no. Sorry to hear that. Again, it's never good to hear anybody suffering. Again, 130 people watching, 183, just 17 more likes to get to 200. Thank you for all the love you're showing this channel. And I'm going to say this one more time, as I've always said, you don't have to donate your heart and cash to the channel. All I ask of you is just keep liking the video, subscribe if you haven't. You watching even when you're not talking in the chat, those things to go along with. So thank you for all the love. I cannot thank you enough. Dumfries does not compete with the best right wing back in the world. He covers his injury periods. Again, every now and then you rest him because you can't keep up playing him until he's mentally tired. It just doesn't make sense. You know, again, who has the alarm on? Oh, yeah, Ty already talked about that. Big up Viola and big up everyone. Here's the bus driver coming late. So you're not going to get too many. I think there's a lot of passengers for him in the chat. And Kimso is actually arguing, just to let you know, Kimso is actually arguing he should be the panic box driver. And that's the truth, because I think he started asking for the keys even before you started complaining. So maybe Kimso would take the keys from you. Coach, careful talking about Malang Sarr, Todd fruit. Yeah, I get that. I didn't know you were paying attention. I hope you're doing well, Rodrigo. Finally, hello, Blue Farm. My farm here. My day already dope. Jafta Asikwa, nice to hear that you're enjoying the day. Nice to see you. Again, the captain says, hi, Rodrigo. I'm going to skip a few. Says, how is Dumfries worth 40 million when Adama Traore is less than 30 million and EPL proven? Might as well get the baby oil guy for right wing back.
But not proven in right wing back.
EPL
proven, but not proven in that position.
Premier League proven.
But not proven in right wing back.
I think they mean Timo going to Newcastle because now I get it. Thank you from the captain of the house. I cannot Bennett. Yeah, that'd be a cheap option. I don't know too much about him. And couch critic, big up, brother, big up, high respect. And nice to see you here, brother. And I know how busy you are, and you told me that personally. We scheduled a short video interview format like we've done before in the Christensen video, and I know it will still happen. But if you're watching, if you haven't, please take a second to go check out Couch Critics YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe and let him know I sent you. Again, he's a good football analytical mind, and you will enjoy his videos. Again, I say, what's up, Couch Critic? Yeah, saying hello to him. I personally like and rate both Skriniar and Fofana. So between the two, I would go for the cheap option only because we need to cover that position. And Skriniar, again, Ty has also explained that Fofana himself is capable of playing in multiple positions. So again, that's not. He wouldn't be a bad addition either. Tobias, again, I am well. DJ just responded to this. Oh my gosh, I'm way far too behind. Just suffering from transfer window PTSD. So sorry about that, bro. And I can tell what he did to you already. Again, I'm going to get to the very, very bottom. Apologies to those that joined the chat, and I haven't read your comments. Again, I've been far too behind. Coach doesn't want to jinx us anymore. Yeah, I don't want to. I remember that comment you made, and the class supported you. So I'm just being careful here. But that's, by the way, who's on the farm? I can chicken in the background. I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's anybody on the panel. But that's, by the way, maybe I'm still in the village and I haven't returned to the States. You don't know. Malang Sarr is world class. But tell them about that. Yeah, good.
The next card is Puyol. The next card is Puyol.
Yeah. Again, Victor Moses wasn't proven at right wing back. He was right wing at West Brom. Again, and Conte just moved him, and the rest is history. But that's, by the way,
as right centre back.
Yeah,
Don't forget.
But Kingsley, you said he's proven. We're going off your word. You said he was proven. He's not proven. He's APL
again,
proven.
Let's see what else we have to talk about here. And again, I don't think we'd have time enough to finish reconstructing the Chelsea defense. Maybe we'll try that tomorrow, but I'll ask the chat anyway. While I get Ty, I want you to talk about Frankie de Jong. If you ask me, my theory is this: Frankie de Jong may well be the only thing we're gonna get out of Todd Boehly traveling all the way to Spain with his private plane to go talk with Juan Laporta. Maybe that's the case. I could be wrong, but I'm thinking that's the only thing we'll get out of him, because when Barcelona came in for for Rafinha and also Jules Koundé, we could have say we want to pay more than they're paying, because we know they don't want to go into a bidding war with us. Maybe there's something we've agreed. We had a gentleman agreement, and we're still waiting for. Again, we'll get a clear picture of what we think, we believe they discussed that day. Because for us to still hear that the relationship between the two clubs is still fine, despite all the rumors and all that. But Ty, let me start with you. What are your thoughts about the links to Frankie de Jong? But this is, if you're basing off of what I said here, it's not new. But overall, I want to get your thoughts.
I am going to be negative for once in this stream.
Okay, just get onto the bus.
I am not confident about this guy. I'm not convinced.
Why is that?
I'm getting to that. That he is the player that we necessarily need more than an important position or profile, rather, not position, profile in the midfield. I keep stressing this.
I'm going to leave this fight for you and declare. Just go ahead.
I know that, people will say that he has the ability that we wish Jorginho has, and that's pushing forward. He can score goals if needs be, if he gets the opportunity. and he can create as well. That is something that we lack in the midfield. Whether even if it's twice a game or 3 times in the game. For me, I think a DM is more necessary because I know declared argument and I know he's going to counter me, but I don't think that De Jong necessarily is the player that we need right now, and especially for the price I'm hearing is being quoted, because I'm pretty sure the plan that Barcelona are trying to use is that the 17 million that they owe him in 2024 and not this year or not anytime soon, 2 years from now, based on the contract that he got, they push that the wages that they owe him to 2 more years. I think they're going to try to push that into the asking price so that they can get that issue with him resolved. I'm not convinced in terms of if he is the player that we need. I think we need a DM, and I know that De Jong has the experience or has past experience playing as a DM, but for what I've seen of him and what I did when I did watch Barcelona last season and everything, and ever since he's been there, I've not seen him being utilized as a DM. The last time I can remember him being utilized as a DM is probably at Ajax, and that was a couple of years ago. So I'm not really convinced that he will be able to just ease back into that role if necessary. But I don't know if not Phantom declare things that or things that wrong.
Can I ask you?
Just one second quickly. Declare, just one second quickly. Again, Ty, take a moment while Declare is talking. Find it in time to share the link to your channel, the link to your channel in the chat so that people can go check out your content and subscribe. And also, I'm starting to create more YouTube Shorts video, and I've started again. I used to create a few, but I'm starting to create it because it will help me reach more people. I'm going to share the link to a YouTube short video that I created. I want you to please, even if you're not going to watch it, just take a second to go drop a like on that YouTube short, please. I'd really appreciate that. Thank you very much. I'm going to share the link and I'm going to pin it. Go check it out, even watch it. Drop a like on it. And again, we need just 11 more likes to get to 200 likes. I know we can do that. So if you haven't, take a second to like the video. And also, here is the link. Please go help me drop a like on that video. Thank you so much. Ty, go ahead. Or Declan has started talking already.
Yeah, I was asking Ty if he saw Jorginho as a DM.
Oh no, 100% I don't.
So what do you believe we need a DM for?
Because I think that in order, I keep repeating myself with this thing.
I repeated myself too, but go on.
Yeah, I know you repeat yourself, but we've never debate this, so you can't.
No, but we're probably gonna find something new between us today.
Yeah. So the reason why I think we need a DM is that
honestly, I like to see you guys. The argument between you guys is usually delicious to watch. So that's why I'm going to leave that between you and Ty. You guys go ahead. I'm watching.
Okay, so the reason why I think we need a DM is that every single time we've won the Premier League, or every time we've won anything, a player has played in a DM role. I don't think Jorginho is a DM. I don't even think Kante is a DM. But every time we've won the Premier League, we've always had that key player who allows whoever's being creative to create without having the extra concern of, I can't be up too far because I have to go backwards to ensure that if they get the ball or if we lose possession and they try to counter, there's not enough players back. And the fact that we don't play the same way that we played under Conte when we had a Matic for that final year, I think that the thing for me is that we don't want to be left in a position where you have box to box and a ball with the midfielder who presses up forward, and then you have the midfield being left isolated, and then you have to rely on Mendy, or you may have one defender who's still there, and then you're left in a 3v1 situation with your defender or whoever is deep being that one, and 3 players are attacking you all at once. So I think a DM would allow more freedom, so that like a Kovacic, who I see get injured a lot and gets tackled because he's the creative one, or rather the one that pushes forward, compared to if you have a Jorginho who sits deep, because for one thing, he's not quick enough. Like if he's out of position, he can get back in time. Like you probably would see like a Declan Rice who can slide in. So that is why I think that DM is more necessary, so that we can see Kovacic go up the pitch and not have to run back and forth, and then that takes a lot of energy because you're running back and forth. And then when he wants to pass the ball, the pass is overhits because he's running with the ball, trying to make a pass, and then it's overhit. So that is one of the reasons why.
So
yeah,
so let me get this straight.
If you don't mind, can I catch up with the chat, bro, please?
Okay, yep.
All right, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Kimson says, nah, the young is good, but I don't want to help Barca. We need to see the like Ndidi, Sangare, or Rice. Well, we'll see. It comes down if Thomas Tuchel wants the young, let's get him. And if probably because again, I don't want to say what I'm reading on my update screen here. It's hilarious. Again, if he wants Ndidi, all those people out, if he wants, so to speak, the young, let's back him. We've always called for the club to back him. It says Frankie de Jong wants to stay at Barca. He's a Barca Twaka. No, he's not. They owe him money. So it's deeper than you see on the surface level. And just realized says negotiations with Barca for de Jong. That gives me pre-PTSD. Again, we cannot say that enough. Again, some reports came out a few minutes ago. Personal terms agreed with Fofana, but first bid rejected. It's looking like we're serious. And again, Gunplay, I haven't seen you in a while. How are you doing, brother? Again, let us know. Again, I want to know that you've been okay. Thank you for that update, Gunplay. Send the link. That's one thing I like about all the people here on Chelsea Perspective. If you bring some news, people in the chat will ask you your source. They'll say, okay, send the link if you're serious about it. Yeah, but good question there. We need a DM because if we intend on dropping a 5-at-the-back system, we will need a strong defensive midfielder who will fight for us and win the ball. Again, this de Jong isn't what we need. It's nonsense. That's what we said about his use. Look at him now. Better than what we have. De Jong is a world-class player. Again, if Thomas Tuchel never wanted, what's his name, Gabriel Jesus, why go for him? It's as simple as that. Ampadu is the DM too. It remains to be seen whether he'd be able to execute it perfectly, or maybe midway through the season we'll start complaining how badly he's played. Again, our midfield is the problem. We cannot do the 4-2-3-1 and 4-3-3 formation. You could argue that, and that's why probably a lot of players will come in again. Says, yeah, stay away from Barca. Again, it's as simple as that. But it's again at the same time it isn't that simple. We still waiting for what's his name, Todd Boehly got us from that meeting with Juan Laporta. But we'll see. I think Chalobah would be better in the DM position. No, I don't think so. I still don't trust him in terms of his abilities on the ball, but we'll see what happens. Maybe it's because he hasn't settled in 100%, or maybe because he's still maturing as a player. Gabriel Jesus was always going to choose his former Man City bench coach in Arteta. They have a friendship. That argument makes sense, by the way. Says that Chelsea fans need to stop being salty. If we had Frankie de Jong, he would be better off. Maybe we should also, again, in the chat, because sometimes when you use, qualifies or defines what somebody says as nonsense, again, in some countries, saying somebody's talking nonsense doesn't come across as insulting, but to some people, it does come across as insulting. So we should polish our languages very well so that we can all enjoy the argument, learn from each other, and move on. I still cannot believe we ignored Yves Bissouma anyways. Maybe we're afraid of the issues we were having then. I can't believe it either. This is Titus CFC YouTube link. Please make sure to go subscribe to him again and let him know I sent you. Coach, did you see my comment on Fofana versus Koundé? Maybe I missed it. I'll try and see, look for it, and then I'll highlight it and read it. We need Fofana. Again, and Didi, he's a destroyer. Again, against Chelsea, he's a fine player in terms of being a destroyer, a traditional DM. He's one. I'm okay, Kachila, but one of the guys at the panel is saying we don't need the young. Yeah, you have to respond if you have to. Tell them why you think we need them. But the reason I'm saying we should be careful the language you use. We're all from different parts of the world, and sometimes some language that's very common in some places come across to others as insulting. I've been here. Declared use the two-word sentence oxymoron, which to me means contradictory. But somebody saw it as he called them a moron and responded, declared moron. I don't want to start naming names, but it was hilarious to see that. I presume it was brought early, even before Boehly become acting director. Again, that's, by the way, I'm going to scroll to the very bottom. Apologies to you, Olulade or Lakumbi, my Niger brother. Nice to see you here. Apologies if I skip your comments. I just want to be all caught up. Again, I don't know why your players are heading to a spot. We don't know either, but we don't want to talk about it. Chris Mobu, one of our returnee players. Again, Darwin, nice to see you here. I appreciate you finding time to join us. Declan, go ahead with what you're saying. But before he starts, please keep liking the video. We need just 10 more to get to 200 likes. So if you haven't, take a second to like the video and also do subscribe to the channel. Go ahead, Declan.
Yeah, so I want to first address that if you made the comparison of we had a DM when we won the league, we don't work off patterns, I'm pretty sure. You know, if Man City won without a striker, that doesn't mean everyone plays without a striker.
Mm-hmm.
What we have now, unless you're saying everything you said in the reference of playing a back four rather than a back three, because that back three is like our DM. Does that make sense? If you have three centre backs.
No, this fight is between you and Ty.
I'm talking to Ty.
Okay.
He's here, yeah. Ty, you here? I'm not talking to myself.
Yeah, I'm sure he can hear you.
Yeah. So, you have to understand, like, what you said wasn't wrong, but you have to take into account that we have three centre backs, which is making up for what you said when we do get caught on a counter or defensive and whatnot. What a DM usually does, we have an extra centre back doing that role, so we don't need a DM to throw with three centre backs. All of a sudden, you will have three defensive players in the middle of the pitch. For that thing that you said that Kovacic can go up, he has that freedom to go up. It's his job to go up. The problem is that he goes up and he's not much of a attacking threat. That's the biggest problem. The reason Jorginho sits is because he dictates play. He plays the one other. But if all of a sudden you have another player like De Jong who can also distribute and also go up and become an attacking threat, this player will have a lot of freedom. The player that plays in those for us for the six doesn't have to be defensively sound, because we have three centre backs on the pitch. If you start to throw another defensive midfielder, that'd be four defensive players. Throw in Chilwell and Reece James, you have seven. You have more defensive players on the pitch than attacking ones. That's a very defensive setup, what you've said, right? And if you think that scoring or creating chances was the issue before, it's going to be even more so now when you throw a DM in the mix and just wait to not, for defensive purposes. That setup is even teams, even lower teams in the league now don't even play like that anymore. That is too many. That is like when I hated the most when Conte played with Kante and Matic and three centre backs. When that's what it was like when he played with him. It was so pragmatic. We had nothing go. There was zero creativity, and he just hopped over the line to win the league that season towards the end when he kept playing those two, right? So that's if you want that, you change the whole thing. But you got to understand, if we take out one centre back and put that defensive midfielder, then what you said is right. But De Jong, I think you've underrated him, and you underrated the role. And and the role is also in progress, changing as well.
Oh my God, Declan, I'm sorry. Just go ahead. I hope you're seeing the screen. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I will survive today. Just go.
I'm all right. That's an ox.
Oh my God! Just go ahead.
That makes me more
Declan.
sense.
Just go ahead.
So it's Ty. I want you to take focus on what Conor Gallagher is doing at the moment. He's actually changing the role than what Cover had. He's actually getting more priority to go up, and one of the wing backs are actually sitting back a bit more. I'm not sure if that's just for pre-season, just to make up for some of the players playing different positions, but maybe going forward, that's what Tuchel wants to change the role into, or what he always wanted. The problem we have now is that the person that plays there, Kovacic or Kante, they go up and nothing happens. And it's usually Rudiger goes up. We need one more player to go up. And De Jong is that probably that guy that can really change that role for the better. Because for some guy that can... Why I want him so bad is because he can distribute just like Jorginho. He can dribble like Cover. He can get out of positions. He's great on his feet and wiggle around. And when he's in the attacking half, he can create stuff. He can score goals and he can create. It's just multiple players in one of what we need, and he could do that role perfectly. This guy's worth way more than what we were getting for, and he could really unlock the system that we play. So I think there's a lot more factors, and I mean to compare other times we won the league is not fair. It's not a good comparison on the way the system is and how it is at the moment. But
this is why. I'm going to let you finish.
Basically, I think you've underrated how good De Jong is and what he can do in one of those positions. And you should take into account what's happening with Conor Gallagher at the moment as well.
The chat is really killing me regarding the oxymoron thing.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'm going to.
Hey guys, sorry, Ty. Just quickly, if you're watching it again, I'm enjoying it because I can see the chat on the screen on the right hand side. But that's by the way. If you're watching, please, we need just 7 more likes to get to 200 likes, and we can do more than that because we'll be ending the show in a few minutes. But Ty, go ahead with your point, brother.
Okay. I have 3 things that I have to. Okay, it's not counted. 3 things that I have to.
If they're questions, I answer them. Yeah.
Two things that I disagree with, and one thing that I agree with. I'm going to start with what I agree with. All right. So okay, that is true. What you said about Kovacic and Kante going forward, what they do is when they go up forward, they can't offer anything in terms of goal scoring. So that is why they go sideways, they pass it, they try to do. So I agree with that. The 2 things that the first point that you made is that about when I said that every time we won the Premier League, we had a DM, and then the point you made about Man City winning the league with a striker. The reason why they were able to do that is because they have goal scorers in their team, and even the DM, although I don't really see him as a DM anymore, he also can score goals. Rodri, they play with a DM, and with him being there,
I think you missed. I think you missed the point. I'm just saying.
No, I know. I get what you're.
No. What you're doing now is correct. There's context, yeah. What I'm saying is that when we had a DM, we've always won the league with a DM, right? So now it's like some kind of pattern. But there's a lot more context to when we won it. That's what I was saying. But now, so now you're explaining the context of the comparison I made it to. So there's a lot more. It's not just a pattern. Yeah, that's the point I was making.
Yeah. So and I get that. So the pattern is that because initially you needed that clinical striker in order to win goals. You need someone to score 20 goals, but they show that they don't necessarily need that, but they need to take off the pressure of, for example, Raheem Sterling, Mahrez, Bernardo Silva, KDB.
I hope you understand. I'm not laughing at you.
Yeah, I know, because I saw that, and I mean the way his the accent when he said that, it did sound like he was saying "You're ox and a moron." So I can understand that. But the other 2 things the other thing is that the fact of the matter is that the fact of the matter is that even with that, even with the point that when you play a back 3, you have one that one of the players that play like that. I can agree with that because you normally see, like, for example, Silva, who is always in the center. He stays centrally. He connects with the other midfielders, with the midfielders, and he's the one that's central. And you have two at the back in terms of how like a back four. So maybe in a sense I can agree with that. And like you were saying as well, unless I mean about a back four, then yes, that's what I meant. Because I think in a back three, when you have three centre backs, it limits the players that you can actually have in the attack, because you have an extra defender that in a sense, although it seems necessary because at the time we didn't have those defenders you could rely on. I think maybe it allows us to only have three attackers in the team, and maybe we're forcing Mason Mount further forward, because yes, he has the ability, but realistically, I don't really think he has the creative instinct at this time that's really necessary in the front three. So that's why I was saying that you need a DM, because not only does it allow us to be able to play with a back four with more confidence that DM could step in and then it can form a back three. That in itself helps the team, because it allows not only for us to have that defensive support, but also it allows us to be able to play an extra attacker. So it's easier for more players to get more game time, and also benefit a lot of the players, because we have players who, for example, if you play a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3, it's you're able to play maybe a Mason Mount in a more, probably I call it an 8th place, and then maybe you have wingers and a striker, or probably a 4-2-3-1. In that case, it allows you to be able to have 3 AMs and you have a striker. So that is what I meant. But the other point is that in terms of a DM,
yeah, if that's what you meant, then yeah, I said it. That is correct. It's just all what you said we're doing. What you wanted to do with a DM is that we're doing with an extra centre back. It's pretty simple. If we just take out a centre back and put a DM in there, it's exactly what you just said. We're just doing it the other way. So what we're doing is that Jorginho sits back like a DM, but he's not a DM, right? And it gives someone else permission to go, so our wing backs can go higher. Do you know what I'm saying? They can attack. They're part of our attack, right? And then cover actually waits, and then goes. He doesn't completely go, right? So our five. So it's basically almost like a 5v5. Our 3 attackers plus 2 wing backs. That's our 5, and the 5 that sits back are the 2 6s and the 3 centre backs. And Cover would wait a bit forward, so Cover would be like the first. Like if we got counted on, Cover would be the person they meet first. If they get through Cover, then it's Jorginho and the centre backs are there, and that's how we would deal with Cover. And that really worked. When we first had it, how many clean sheets we had? Yeah. We were a hard team to get counted on, and that's why teams didn't sit back. Because if you want to sit back and counter, we were perfectly set up. So we don't know if Tuchel wants to change, but I'm going off that we're going to probably play the same way, but he was evolving it a bit. So the role that Cover was doing when Conor Gallagher was there was a lot different to when Cover did it. So that could be something new that you'll see in the new season, or maybe not. And I think we still probably haven't seen the best of roles, because last season we saw a lot of makeshift, like the example, like when Loftus-Cheek played right wing back. Loftus-Cheek didn't play the right wing back role like how the other players did, right? He, instead of going up, so usually it was Mason Mount that came back and made 3 in the midfield, because there has to be 3, or else the midfield will get outnumbered, because most midfields have 3 in it. So Mason Mount's role is to come to attack and come back and help with the midfield. Now, when Loftus-Cheek played right wing back, it was Loftus-Cheek, instead of going up and down, he tucked in and he made the 3 in the midfield. And Mason Mount didn't need to go back. Mason Mount ran all the way to the right, as if where Loftus-Cheek would have ran. That was to because we didn't have players. That was to keep the system going, but it was a makeshift change. So that's how. I don't think that was for the better, but as you can see with Gallagher now, that could be the same thing, or that could be how we want to move forward. But going back to De Jong, I think De Jong can take one of those roles in the midfield and really open it up, do a lot more. And I think that, and he's such a great player. It would really open up the way we play, and it'll be that's why I'm really keen on him. Like I can understand. Don't think of De Jong doing what the players we're doing. Like Jorginho and Kovacic have limits. That's why those roles feel limited. When you put someone like De Jong in that role, the role suddenly opens up. You got someone that can distribute, dribble, and create, and score. Right? You give someone a role like that, your view on that role will change completely. So you have to take that into account.
Yeah, thank you very much. And just Viola, I want to know how I'm scaring you. Don't start, please. Again, it's been a brilliant show so far. Declared why I'm with you. Again, I want to get your thoughts on everything we talked about today. Again, it's been an enjoyable, brilliant show. I know at the time the temperature was too high in the chat, but everything later on did, calm down. Again, some hilarious stuff. I don't want to go into it. It's a private matter. By the way, again, we need just 3 more likes to get it to 200. Let's get it to 200 plus. And I cannot thank you guys enough. I'd be ungrateful not to say thank you. Please do take a second to like the video. Also, do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you for all the support. You're the reason why the channel is growing. And in a few days, we will reach 5,000 subscribers, probably tomorrow or in the evening. It depends, but we'll see. And I owe you guys a serious giveaway. I know I haven't done the one for 4,000 like promised, but believe me, you know how we operate here. That was a time we did like $50 giveaway, like 10 days in a stretch or 5 days or so. I don't remember, but it was a lot. We will celebrate the success we've achieved so far together as a family, because I appreciate you all. Declan, I wanted you to answer the Osimhen question so we can get over it once for all. I think I saw somebody saying Osimhen, let's just move on from it. Declan, let me just get your thoughts on everything we've talked about today.
Yeah, I guess another day, another name pulled out of the hat to talk about today. I think maybe I'm waiting to see some names now. I think we are panicking. We are going to make a panic boy. So I believe that I think one of these names might actually come true, and I think maybe a quick transfer, just
which do you think will most likely come through?
I think the defender ones before anyone else. I think that is public that we were after him, we're bidding for him. Tuchel said we need him. I think there's a lot there to say we're after the defenders are the priority.
Sorry, who specifically?
I'm not sure who. I'm saying a defender before any other position, basically. If that report is true that our bid was rejected for Fofana, then it'll probably be him, because we will go back in for him.
How about your Ty?
About what?
Everything we've talked about today, and which player do you think will most likely come in soon?
I think the player that may come in soon is Skriniar. I'm seeing that Leicester City have claimed that Fofana is not for sale, and they're not ready to listen to any bids at this moment. I don't know how true it is, but that's what I'm hearing. And if the case is that Skriniar is up for grabs and PSG's bid was rejected for him, we could swoop in, and because we did business with Inter before, use that opportunity to try and get the player, and maybe sweetening it with Todd Boehly, bringing the CEO of Inter on a dinner. So he loves to eat, so they'll have a great meal, and a very great deal. So we'll see what happens.
Again, we'll see what happens. Indeed, Fofana will happen, as says I see. And it says Fofana and Colwill look like brothers. Oh, yeah, I forgot to talk about that. What? There is no actually, they don't differ so much. Actually, I think that's a good point there. They look like they are from the same family, I have to say. So that's a good observation right there. Again, for real, they do. When I was making the thumbnail, I was like going, am I like mixing up the pictures? I had to pay attention the name, how I named it. And look at the haircut too, Ty. You see that? They're nearly identical. But that's, by the way, again, I want to say thank you to the panelists.
One was born in London, one was born in France.
Yeah, again, that's just the difference. But for picture-wise, you'd mix them up. And if somebody changes the picture and they put on the same shirt, you won't even know that. You look very close to realize that they're two different individuals. But that's, by the way, I want to say thank you to everybody on the panel. Talks EFC, go check out his channel. Again, make sure to follow him and let him know I sent you. Check out Declad on Twitter. Please do follow him. Again, he doesn't get paid for his contributions on panels every time, showing how much he loves Chelsea. Again, it's a pro bono job, but again, you can show him love by following him on Twitter. Do the same. Do follow Chelsea Perspective again on Twitter too. We're also on Facebook, on Tumblr. Again, thank you so much for being a part of this brilliant show. It was funny. It was, objective. There's so much to learn from everybody involved. The arguments were so enjoyable to listen to. And again, those in the chat were on fire too. I cannot thank you guys enough. Thank you to Chelsea the Kingslayer. Again, you're such a brilliant individual. I love you so much. Thank you for all the support you show the channel. Again, hit the like button. He says, keep a like in the video. How old is Skriniar? I don't remember. I'm not sure his age. You can find that on Google. I don't remember. Keep the again. Thank you to Ty, to Josh Viola, the Queen of the House. Thank you to Ike Icy. Thank you
27.
to
He's 27.
27.
And it's funny. His name is Milan Skriniar.
yeah, exactly. That's with the club he plays for. Again. Thank you to Jessa Sikwa. Thank you to Prince of Venza Zillion. Thank you to PJ Artist. Thank you to Chris Wilson. And thank you to Kim So, always available to help. Thank you to Mikhail, DJ Slav, everyone else. Again, thank you to Burger, King Yummy. And if I missed your name, apologies. I'm only human. And I hope if I have the strength, to host the show later in the evening, or if my co-host, Louisa, has time, she'd be hosting the show. If not, see you guys tomorrow for another Blue Morning Show. Thank you so much for such a wonderful show. I cannot thank you guys enough. God bless us all, and bye.